guys are playing this music loud, there is a really nice rumbling bass going on. We're just starting shortly. Sorry for the late technical issue filled show as always.
Ryan, you ready for this shit?
Where's the
yeah!
Hello, my name is Ryan. You've ruined my entrance. I'll fucking kill you. One half of the way to Leaf, and we're the LeafCast, an epic fantasy-filled adventure with the likes of Robert Jordan. Come on down.
Hey, Robert Jordan.
And the editor, Harry, come on down.
Come on.
All right, no, hey guys, we're the
Slowly.
I am Ryan, and I am currently visiting the Mistress of Novices with my head held low.
And I am Ryan's brother Dan, and I have a few words yet to say to these other two, words I do not think they will enjoy hearing.
Nice.
Thank you.
And this is the LeafCast.
Yep, and we are the way of the leaf. We are actual brothers. We haven't said that enough, Ryan. But we came out of the same Tarvalon.
We did, yeah. Popped out of the same Tarvalon. Some people, we're such comedic geniuses. We're considered like akin to the Smothers Brothers and the Doobie Brothers.
Hold on, the Smothers Brothers, I think, juggled and played harmonica and stuff. What do you do?
Well, look at my mustache. Okay,
well, that's good.
I could.
I like the sound.
I'm a windshield wiper for my own car.
Ryan, do you have dance moves? I've shown off many. Why don't you give me 2 dance moves right now?
All right. Oh, well, let's bring in our guests, and then
all right,
yeah, and then I will dance.
All right, guys. Bring him in.
You like how he stalled right there? Thinking about what the hell am I going to do?
Ryan, they're still reading. All right, and they lived happily ever after. The end. Amen.
Oh my gosh, anyone? The end. Amen.
The end. Amen.
Dan, do you remember what amen translates into?
Yes.
Go for it.
It means Taishar. It means true blood.
And so be it.
True blood.
Brother Dan, you had that on a trivia question in 8th grade.
Yeah, I know. I was in like 6th grade, motherfucker. I beat 8th graders.
But
Josh!
Yeah.
In case that I try, Todd! Guys, the band's back together.
We're back together.
All right, I brought my tambourine.
All right, yeah. Hey, where's the cookout?
I missed everybody.
Oh, we missed you,
too, Todd.
My green tambourine.
It is canonical that you were having trouble with some green aja last week. Is that what you said in chat?
Yeah, I was tied up by some green aja.
No pun intended.
With air weaves or just actual ropes?
Actual ropes, lots of other things. I won't delve too far into it.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Well, I have some. I could send you GoPro footage.
It's of the Black Aja, guys. Come on, don't you know? We don't speak of that here.
Hey, we're sex positive, Josh.
We totally are, man.
We're sex positive, no matter how black it gets.
I
don't know about that, guys. Really?
Look at you, king shamer, you. I kind of like Satanists and Black Ajas.
Only green ajas for me. Possibly brown aja.
Right on. Right
Is
on.
that coming out of the North Port or the South Port? As we'll soon discover.
You'll find out. I have GoPro footage of everything. I'll send you.
Wow. Get consent. Otherwise, it's illegal. Guys, welcome back.
All right.
We are
Welcome
discussing 3 chapters in this epic tome called The Dragon Reborn. We're doing chapters 11 through 13.
Is there like a tome per minute quotient that we have to hit to be like a true Wheel of Time podcast? Kind of like to be Christian music, you have to have a certain JPM, Jesus per minute.
Yeah, I think I don't have to say the word tome again until December.
Okay, we'll hold you to that, brother Dan.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Check. Guys, chapter 11 is called Tarvalon, and it comes with a map. Let's just kill the big elephant in the room now, Ryan, shall we?
Yeah.
Can you please?
Nice.
That's
That's not referential.
No,
Tarvalon, guys.
no. Robert Jordan's a normal guy.
Oh,
We're
completely
gonna-
normal. Look
We're
at
gonna
that
get
thing.
we're
It's
gonna
like-
get we're gonna get kicked off YouTube for showing this dang thing.
totally.
No, I think they're pixelating it right now. The algorithm's like, no
Please.
pixels. It's like Japanese porn.
Yeah.
Go on. And where's the
Yeah,
tentacle? Where's
TMI.
the tentacle?
It really is.
Okay, so
Like,
guys, this is Tarvalon. We have up top, over here, up top is the North Harbor.
I wish you were like in front of it like a weatherman, Dan.
Right?
Here-
Me too.
In fact, I have a stick. Here
No,
we
I
are.
Oh, nice. Nice. Excellent.
Oh,
In fact, I was.
no. Now you're like a.
Is it the stick
like a-
or is it? Go ahead.
Are you just happy to see?
It's a switch, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's a switch.
Josh
Yeah, it's
coming
a
in with the
switch.
big guns.
Yeah, we're starting to see what's happening below camera more these days. We never knew, but now we know.
I got into the green room of the Twatcastathon thing, and my pants were completely down from the last time we had recorded because we were talking about Falma, and,
Yeah.
and I had dropped my pants, and I forgot that they were.
Wow,
Yeah,
there's
it's
a lot
on.
of visuals there, brother Dan. I love it.
Fantastic.
So good.
Fantastic.
So much fun.
So I just go to this green room for this random charity. There's people I don't know there, and I have a half-naked puppet. I'm naked from like the bottom down, like Winnie the Pooh. I'm like, oops.
You're totally gonna get
That's right.
arrested by accident.
I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, sorry.
So
So up here is North
but,
Harbor.
wait, but then they ask you for your SAG
Children,
card,
yeah.
and then you're all good, right?
That only happens to you.
You call me fat.
No, of course not. You're a perfectly trim individual.
I think you're fit, and you know it.
Oh, SAG. That's great. If you're sagging and you know it, clap your hands. Flop, flop, flop. All right, go on.
Fluff, fluff.
So there is North Harbor, which is apparently it's not super obvious. South Harbor is more obvious, but you need permission to dock there.
To visit.
Yeah,
Are there like an outer layer and an inner layer, Dan, of
The-
Tarvalon?
it looks like there's a like a intricate eco structure within the walls
Within the wall.
of Tarvalon that I don't think I'm meant to understand.
Many of us don't.
The outer rivers are the Araman.
I think that's kind of the
Why?
point.
Yeah, why?
of
Why?
The
Tarvalon.
Aranen. My outer Aranen and my inner Aranen.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
There you go. That's the proper terminology.
freaking cool.
Well,
Josh
we did
nailed it on the
learn.
head, eh?
We have learned that we did learn in the very
Nice.
beginning of the first book that this was created when Dragon Mount itself was created. So Dragon Mount's right near here, and it is colloquially named Dick Mountain for its proximity to Tarvalon.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But before the breaking, or before rather the creation of Dragon Mount, the river ran without an island in the middle of it. This island was created when Dick Mountain was sprouted and the dragon killed himself. So, little history on this island.
So it gave this part of the world a bad case of Tarvalon.
A bad case. Well, I mean, so we do have symmetry is beauty.
Josh is on fire tonight.
That's so awesome, Josh.
On fire. I wish you could see Josh.
Beautiful.
Jesus Christ, no.
Yeah, cover me, Ryan.
I'm right there. I'm hiding behind Tarvalon.
Oh, you tell me more, Josh.
A master doesn't reveal their secrets, Ryan.
Something smells fishy.
So I would recommend that someone
It does.
get that Ogier Grove. So someone should check that Ogier Grove.
Apprentice,
does
the Ogier
not-
Grove definitely needs
That
Yeah.
does not look healthy.
a dose of something.
Funny, the Ogier Grove like goes
Let's
away
check the Ogier
and then it
Grove,
just
yeah.
comes back when it's hot out. All right.
Yep.
Gross. Guys,
Poor
like and
Tarvalon.
subscribe, like and subscribe for this kind of content.
Curious.
Would you?
Oh, the light. Oh, the light.
Lord.
I like how the
Oh.
river runs
Oh,
downstream
highbrow.
there.
Oh.
Highbrow content.
Totally.
What?
I've never heard a better description of anything ever in my life.
Ryan, I think it's time.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
we have an edition of Chansony Says?
Oh, do we? Oh, do we? Let's begin. This is the game that's sweeping the nation. Yes.
Sweeping the nation, mopping, it's Roombaing, it is Swiffering the nation.
All of the above.
Just deadpan.
All the above.
It's sterilizing the nation.
Let's go. Yes, it is
Okay.
COVID-friendly nation.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, hold on.
You need your microbiome. Don't go wiping.
Okay, you look so
Maybe.
comfortable right there. That looks like the most comfy
Hey.
nook.
I'm pretty comfy
Very nice nook.
in my nook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
We've
Like
tried to
that.
figure out how to hide the hand, the puppet, controlling her while getting a good angle. So
It's
you
really
can't-
complicated.
you
This
can't
was
see-
the
you
only
can't see
we could
anything,
kind
right?
of.
So you hung it
kind of
from like
work.
this ceiling fan. You're like, all right, we're gonna put it
Sometimes
from
I
up there.
twitch out, but I'm okay for the most part. You know.
Once the software doesn't malfunction, right?
All right, guys, here's a game called Pronounce This.
What's
Yeah.
this?
Pronounce This. We'll start as usual with K. Said I.
Okay, in my head it's Darian, even though I don't think that's right.
Darian. Okay.
Because I kind of mixed those up.
Joshua.
Darian, I think.
Darian. Todrick.
Yeah, let's go to Darian.
Okay. Well, there is a right answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know it.
All right, Dan, you got to play the video.
wait.
Oh! I'm sorry. That is. Oh, fuck. Is that in the brands?
All right,
area?
Johnson, he says.
I'm sorry. I don't have it.
Okay, I'm gonna shit my pants.
Oh,
What?
What the hell? Did you just say
Sorry.
shit your pants?
Yes. I was right.
Don't do that.
All right.
It's cool. It's a blue sofa cover.
All right. Well, we'll get a new
Under the curtain.
I don't have it. Was I?
Oh, we got it. I got it.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Ryan.
Terrain.
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 All right. Next up.
That's really a literal pronunciation of that word. Okay.
Okay.
Eldone Market. I
Eldone
do it
Market.
with a question mark. Yes. Question mark.
All right. Question mark it.
Yeah.
Question mark. There you go.
Only at the end.
Let's see.
Eldone Market.
Eldone Market. Todd.
Done market.
That is what it'll be. It's such a literal pronunciation.
Eldone.
And done.
Oh, that would be like how the Three Amigos are.
Eldone Market.
That's fucking
Eldone.
amazing.
Market.
Chastity says.
Eldone Market.
Eldone.
You're all wrong.
Oh, we are so
Typical.
So happy to say that. All right. Next. You like these graphics? I made these today.
look
Here. Dan, you guys are telling me when we're done with chapter 11. How about you charge with that there? All right.
Nice.
Am I up?
Okay, so I.
Tarvalon?
Tarvalon.
Vagina. No, Tarvalon.
The
Sorry.
love rat.
I could
Okay,
not
all right.
resist.
Chansony says.
Tarvalon.
Tarvalon.
Lawn, like I gotta mow the lawn.
Like, yeah.
Come down to the salon after you mow the lawn.
Were you tanning? You look bronze. Yeah.
All right. Tarvalon and LeBron James. All right,
LeBron.
next up. Pronounce this.
Saldia. Oh my goodness gracious. It sounds so different saying it out loud than in my
Goodness gracious.
Pick a side, Kay.
Saldea.
Okay.
Saldia.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I say it. Soldia.
Okay.
All right. Chansony says.
Saldia.
Nice boys.
think that-
Nice.
I think that's the first one I've ever
But can you
gotten
say
right.
it backwards?
Daily
Don't-
stop.
Hey,
No.
there are 3 silent A's in that word.
I love this. Try it.
All right. How many more, Dan? You ever good? Keep going.
No, yeah, there's 2 more.
All right, thank you. Here we go. Pronounce this. Your favorite, Kay.
Oh my gosh. I was struggling with
this
this
was-
earlier.
This one I tried to say out loud, like when I read it a lot.
Yeah. Same, Todd. I was like, what? Well, now I just said it in my head a different way. And it was totally different than I was like just kind of skipping over it. Anyways, I landed on, I believe it was Folane or Fowlane. Fowlane. I think it was Fowlane. Fowlane. I'm stick with them.
Yeah, Falane.
Okay. John.
Yeah. Pauline.
Yeah.
I think I landed on that one too.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Man, righteous.
We're gonna put it on there.
Here we go. Chansony says.
Does it say?
Faulane.
Lane.
Falane.
Oh,
Okay.
Now we got one more pronunciation
good.
for chapter 11. I know. Ooh. Pronounce this.
I say Theodin.
Mm-hmm.
Theoden.
Ah,
Theoden, yeah.
All right. Chancey says.
Theodrin.
Ooh,
Drin?
what?
Theodrin?
Did she
Did I
say
not put
drink?
an R in there?
What?
Theodrin. Yeah, Theodrin.
Brother Dan! My bad. All
Oh, it
right.
is 3. Yep.
All right, my bad.
mhm.
I will fuck
Wow.
that.
Silent
game.
R.
You
Worst game
sabotaged
ever.
it, Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Worst
Nicely
game
done.
ever!
Of course, Shansani
Oh,
was
yeah.
right.
I love this game. It's lots
She
of fun
corrected
for
me from the future.
Theodrin. Come on, friend.
She's like, fucking type right, bro.
It's the wheel wills.
That's all right. Spelling's
There
hard.
we go.
All right, so they go to
Does
this.
Will have a will?
What's that?
Sorry.
Right?
Like
That got deep.
who its belongings are going to go to after it passes away?
No, yeah, first it starts with a dowry and then a will.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
like
The
I will part of my empire.
You get a spoke.
There's a will
And you
and a
get a spoke.
401k
The
plan.
wheels, the wheels.
No,
No,
it
no,
has
And
no,
the
no.
wheels, the wheels.
You only get the part where everything goes to shit. You're there.
I no, just real quick before we move on. Kay just said, "As the wheel wills," and I just asked, "Does the wheel have a will?" And
It has
we'll
no
start
time
with
for a
Todd.
will.
Do you think the wheel has a will?
Has no time.
W's for both.
We.
It must.
No time.
I don't think it's no. It's not. It's not.
It
Doesn't
has
have
no time for a
self-awareness.
will. No.
I don't think.
Doesn't the pattern weave as it wills, as the wheel wills it to weave, right?
Or does
So
a
if
wheel
you
weave?
will it
Well,
Does a pattern
to do
wheel
something, or is it like its will is to weave the pattern?
well, it's clear there's a little space wiggle room, right? Okay, don't you think? I mean,
Sure. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
certainly they believe that you only have so much, variation in the pattern over time. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I
crazy to
it's-
think about, though, right?
I
Yeah.
think it's just an excuse to when you don't know the answer to anything.
Oh my gosh, I was thinking about that too. I was talking about that earlier. I was like, this is kind of like when
It's
we now say like, well, if it's
Case
meant to
or
be, it's
Have
meant
faith.
to be. Like, well, if it's good, like we make plans, but then God laughs. Like, well, we make plans. And if it says in one of these chapters, I think we make plans, but the wheel
Mhm.
wills.
Yeah.
So
It seems like
We don't
I
really have
always
control.
says that.
kind of thing.
So you do think
Seems
it's a
like-
thing,
yeah.
Todd, or is it just a colloquialism?
Man, I used to
Or
think it was
are
a
they
thing,
hitting on
but
something there?
I think it might be like a part. It might be both. I think, and it just comes in handy when you don't want to tell the answer to a question, or it's like a cover up.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nice. Yeah,
I
okay.
think
It's a tactic.
one other way to look at it though is like infinite difference and infinite repetition, right? It's like you could look at it like an eternal return, right?
Yes.
And that which return isn't necessarily identity, but it's like the thing that the difference between all those things and their emergence in the pattern. Like it doesn't have to be so
But I mean, like, but that doesn't.
firm of a picture, right?
But
Like
that
I
doesn't
think
like talk to any organizing principles. So yeah, just an infinite return doesn't. I mean, you can infinitely return into a.
well, no, but
certain
think about
chaos.
think about genetics and
I
how
try not to.
infinite repetition. I'm sure you don't with your pale skin and strange body shape.
Hey,
But-
hey, clothin skin. Thank you very much, clothin.
Clothin.
He's like, short arms are a curse. I will not pass down.
Let's not pass down. But I mean, no, I think infinite variation and infinite repetition means that there are like, as all those patterns replicate, right? There are these eddies where like things build upon themselves, the frequencies line up, right? So you get these like broad strokes of similar things, but not exactly following identically, right? Like a spider building a web, or the way water flows across a piece of land, right? There are all these systems where divergence is a part of that which makes it the thing that it is.
Is that
So
what the goal of a TAVERN is then, to help facilitate these sort of convergence?
Right, or think about the way a thread goes through a weave, right? It doesn't have to follow the most adjacent path if it's the same color. It can show up in a different part of the pattern that's part of the same color, right? And you still see the picture emerge. It might look different from the back, but like there are these broad strokes from the front. I mean, I think that's like the metaphors of like the layering here. It doesn't have to be the wheel willing, like, but that these similar patterns emerge from the behavior of these individuals across time. And it makes sense in a sense, right? Like humans aren't that varied. Culture only has so far to expand before you start to reach things that are going to look similar at different levels, just like we find in our world. I mean,
So Ryan, was your question that does the wheel and or the pattern have like a consciousness?
No. It's very, very specific and narrow question.
The wheel wills.
She just said, "Hey, the wheel weaves as the wheel wills," and I said, "Does the wheel have a will and a capital W will?" That's all. That was the question. Yeah. Whatever that means, like that is open for discussion. But like, I don't want to put my input into this. I just wanted to see where the discussion went.
Yeah. I think that from I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Tell us. Yeah.
Oh no, I just think that from all the things that we've seen so far, we can kind of gather that there are a lot of differences between all the Aes Sedai and all the different powers. If we were to look at those powers now today, I kind of wonder, like one of my thoughts that I've written down is what would our energy look like if we could see it? So you can like see channeling and see different things. I'm trying to get somewhere with this.
Okay, no, yeah.
No, go on.
Totally.
We talked about this earlier. Yeah, help me out.
Oh, so it's like currently there's a whole like people can claim they see auras, people claim they can read energy. Like if there was some sort of truth to that, could that be related to like how the people in this book are using energy? You know, is
there any correlation to like them channeling and using their energy for different things and like somehow in a different way?
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, I think like when we learn about
correlation, like is there a modern correlate to channeling?
Channeling.
Well, I mean, I imagine that like the highest level like gurus, might be able to kind of give off this, that sense.
Yeah, there's all this evidence of different types of like healing and other like higher understandings of everything, right? So we have
we have puppets.
Nature. Puppets.
We can start there. We have puppets.
Big invention.
Yeah. There you go.
Proof of culture right there.
Right. We have different like ways that people can be healed. We have more natural ways of healing, and those have been from ancient. Those have stemmed from different types of cultures and different ancient variables of things that they can do. And if you believe in all of these things, if you kind of open your mind to maybe some sort of like telepathy and different types of situations, if you opened your mind to everything possible,
could we channel?
Is it possible we could see our energy if we used all of our brain? I mean, we don't even use all of our brain.
Yeah.
There's so many thoughts.
Yeah, are these humanoids who are accessing parts of our brains that we are not able to access, and thus able to do the things they're doing, and we right now, if we could somehow unlock our brains to be like the humanoids in the series, could we be doing this now? Is I guess the question. I think that's actually a super valid question. Kind of circuitous way of getting there, but I like it.
No, it's great. Yeah,
That's great. Yeah. I mean,
I think. Yeah,
go ahead, Todd.
yeah, I think that's what Robert Jordan's getting at, maybe with channeling. If humans were to use like 100% of their brain, I guess we only use like about 10%. They guesstimate.
If that, I think, right?
Or like
Yeah,
less
Speak
than
for,
that.
speak for yourself, Todd.
Well, I
This is
didn't want to
we
like.
shit. I'm
I
at
didn't want to
least
say anything about you, right?
I've never reached 10. I've been trying to get to 10. I can't.
Someday, dude. No.
Well, so speaking about channeling specifically, we do learn something about the White Tower here, and it's a little bit further in this chapter, but that's fine. Let's jump to it. It says, quote, and this is Shiriam speaking with the girls. It says, quote, fewer girls now come to the tower to be trained than once did, but they still come. Most leave never having learned to sense the true source, much less touch it. A few learn enough not to harm themselves before they go. A bare handful can aspire to be raised to the accepted, and fewer still to wear the shawl. We have the impression that the White Tower is just like a whole bunch of people like Nynaeve and Egwene and Elaine, and apparently not. Most are sent on their way and can't channel at all. So there is a training involved, Case Sedai, that these girls, it sounds like, are seeing if they can do superhuman things. And so to your point, maybe that can be trained in a few people, and then even fewer are good at it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe
so
something weird happens.
It goes back to the question about whether this is on Earth. If this is on Earth, then
Right, which I'm convinced
what
it
is the
is. So
difference
then I think about
between
what,
us and them? If it's not on Earth, then this question is not relevant. But if you're thinking that this series is on Earth, then what is the difference between us and them, and why are we not doing fucking cool shit with our brains?
Well, we don't know about how these things that were crafted during the Age of Legend were crafted, right? Like, we don't know if it's high technology or if it was
how high
spiritual power or like whatever, right? We clearly don't have the information at the moment to make that judgment, I think.
But we do know though that this world, whatever, if it's Earth or not, it is based on higher. There's civilizations before it that were highly advanced, because we're talking even before the Age of Legends, like going back tens of thousands of years. You know, like Baal Domin, how he talks about the things that he finds. He talks about
the Terra Angriel and the other Angriel.
And then he talks about like some island. It's like encased in this like glass casing, and then it like hums when the moon's full. And he has these like light sticks and shit like that. It's like
a rave.
Totally, that's where that's from. But no, it's just So this world has from this age. There's been more advanced civilizations.
Correct. And then there was the breaking, and they went more or less into a dark age, it seems. And we don't know how far out of this dark age this current civilization in Randland is, but we do have allusions to how great it once was. It's called the Age of Legends, for crying out loud, but we haven't been given a whole lot of information about the Age of Legends itself. What happened there? We have Luce Theron, and
Dan, for the longest time, Kate thought the Age of Legends was a book.
Yeah, last show I was like, yeah, that book, Age of Legends. And you're like, yeah, it's not a book. And I was so like, good. Well, it's all capitalized and it read like it was a fucking book.
That's great. That's great.
It's a proper noun, not a book. Yeah.
All right, before we go on,
I agree.
before we really go
Josh?
on, I want to just
I agree.
say that
Right?
my hypothesis is that it's the Two Rivers tobacco that allows all this advanced shit going on. Thank you.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
Shit's good, man.
once Two Rivers tobacco, it gets employed into the commons.
Yeah.
That's when people can channel. Yeah.
Why do you think there's 3
Well-
TAVERN from Emmons Field? Duh.
Oh,
I mean, the
right.
channeling could be genetic. Like I said, it could still be genetic engineering that
Well, that's what I was
left over in
getting
the
at that.
bloodline from the prior, high age of technology when all these things that they don't understand were crafted.
Actually, Josh, that's a great point. That's what I was trying to get at when I was talking about like highly advanced civilizations
Yeah.
way before the Age of Legends. So there could have been like a possibility that it was like genetically, like this power was genetically engineered.
Holy shit, guys! This is starting to sound like science fiction. Hold on.
And then the
Hold
civilization
on.
went out, and this is even before the breaking of the world, though. Like before the Age of Legends. I don't know.
Well, why is it gathered? Like, why is this power gathered in Edmund's Field? Like, there's,
Well,
2 women and 3 men who are wrapped up in the pattern, and
Mhm. And
some of
then
them
the
can
other-
channel. Like,
I think it has to do with like Manetheren or Manetheren blood. Maybe
Right.
the Manetheren
Manetheren
blood was, like,
genetics.
the closest. Yeah.
I mean, remember what Moraine kept saying in book 1. The old blood's is strong in Two Rivers.
There is a theory that humanity itself here on this planet, which has been around, we have had humanoid bones up to about 250,000 years ago, and it's thought that there's no way that they were just hunter-gatherers for hundreds of thousands of years, and suddenly civilization just got good, and that there was actual civilizations. There was an Atlantis. There were these things, and then about 12,500 years ago, there was a major atmospheric event that caused an ice age and wiped out a lot of some of these civilizations. It doesn't take very long for crops to dry out. If you don't have a sun, I mean, you just drop the temperature 5 or 10 degrees for a couple of years, and you're kind of screwed. And there's thoughts about that. There's Göbekli Tepe, I think Göbekli Tepe, which was an entire city that was buried in sand on purpose to preserve for whatever, and that is older than anything we've known. So there are these suggestions that it hasn't been a complete linear thing as far as how civilization has worked, but rather kind of an up and down thing, like a stock market thing.
Right.
I mean, I think their
we don't
technology
know
might have
right
been
now.
different than ours, right? I mean,
I mean,
they
it
might
could have been
invested
drafted.
their energy in developing different ways, worldviews, and different things other than silicon and fossil fuels, because fossil fuels wouldn't be around if there was high civilization 11,000 years ago.
Roman cement is we still cannot replicate Roman cement. We don't know how the fuck they did it, but that's why all these Roman structures are still, the ruins are still there, is because it's way better than any of the concrete that we make now. It just is, and we don't know how the fuck they did it, and they didn't have just bags of ready mix and water in a mixer. I mean, they were doing stuff. This is why guilds existed, because this was protected information. Yeah. Anyways.
No, I'm totally down with this. Pyramids.
Yeah, the pyramids, Stonehenge. There's Stonehenge
with an N.
Stonehenge.
Right.
Stonehenge, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's way more plausible that were advanced civilizations that were somehow wiped out through, either their own means or natural disasters, than the idea of aliens coming down, giving us little blips of like.
Yeah, or freaking,
archaeological
structure fucking tips.
Aliens gonna come over and
How
just
about
teach
you
you how to
build it
build
this
shit
way
and,
so
like,
it'll
fly away?
last longer? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
I don't think so.
It seems way more plausible that we just got good and then like destroyed ourselves through malice or greed, or we just had natural disaster. We do have the understanding that the Earth used to be Pangea, right? We used to have Pangea. All the continents were smushed together. Separating that shit can't be easy.
But tons of pieces
That's
out of
not
there.
that
Huh?
easy.
Yeah, lots of things happen there.
So it like
Yeah, it's called plate tectonics.
Right?
Right, there was
Exactly.
the whole Bering Strait bridge that no longer exists that people walked over into Canada from. It's like, what? Yeah, that ain't there anymore.
Ancient aliens are the obvious clues. Kev, I just refuted this.
Yep. It's aliens, man.
Ancient aliens are the obvious. I missed the whole thing.
So
Well,
the
I think when you say sorry, I also do think that when you bring in aliens, you kind of diminish our own capacities, right?
There you go.
And our own
Well,
understanding.
DNA could be the alien. I mean, it doesn't have to be such a
Wait, is A
brute
stand for
force
alien?
thing. Like, there weren't physical beings
Is-
necessarily,
Wait,
but
does A stand for alien? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, deoxyribonucleic alien.
Alien?
There you go.
I'm like, fuck, what does DN stand for? I'm trying to remember. I was like, dinosaur, nucleoid. Nope.
Dinosaur.
Fuck you, Josh.
Devo.
Devo.
Green alien. All right. This is great. Hey, how about we talk about the books?
You want to?
We're gonna be here forever if we don't.
Well, they get to a bridge. They're in this town. There's a lot of guards around. Everyone seems like Tagwin that they're preparing for war. But through discussion with the guardsmen at the bridge, Varen said, it seems that she's asking about the White Cloaks. And the White Cloaks are starting shit, but not really starting shit. They're like running away, but they're trying to goad and provoke. They're just kind of rapping about the White Cloaks.
Do we get to talk about numerology yet in this chapter? Because it's like all over the place.
Yeah. Please go. Yeah, let's go.
I mean, the first mention of the number 100 in this chapter is like 2 pages in, where the line is only 100 paces long. But and you'll see these numbers like replicated, like 13 for the dark one, and blah blah blah. So I'll point them out as we go along. But I mean, we just kind of passed right by that first one where it's like, okay, here's where we're starting to get like.
Are we gonna? I say we need a numerological drinking game.
I love that. No, not the drinking game. I love the drinking game too, but I also love that Josh has realized that there's numerology because I didn't catch that at all.
I never did.
Yeah, RJ.
Super freaking cool. Not that I would. I would. Yeah. Actually defer to someone like Josh. Be like, hey, was there any numerology in this?
And be like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, and he'd be like, hey, yeah, 4 times in the first page, please. Or how many times?
Hey.
Yeah.
Just once in the first few pages, but I mean,
right.
We get it. We get it more throughout the chapter.
Page
Yeah.
of Vag that I highlighted.
Nice. Yes.
You know. In pink.
Oh wow! In pink.
Oh my god.
It's
Nice,
fancy.
baby.
She's
That's
sexy.
That's a pretty.
She's fancy.
I kind of think she needs to go to the doctor.
Case of Ice
She might.
you have an infected Tarvalon there.
Irritated.
Yeah. Those
Well,
are raw.
we shall go to.
Raw, at least. Yeah.
Raw.
She'll keep me busy, and I'll keep her busy.
Wha-bam!
Not
Well,
fun.
isn't it like not surprising that these dorms are sitting empty when you find out how they treat
Wait,
the
I'm sorry,
like novices and apprentices? Like,
Right.
like here we're gonna lash you, and you gotta pick out the fish, the rotten
Yeah,
fish
you know.
from the good fish. Like, come on, dude.
You'll
Like,
wish your dad
no wonder
never
there's
cooked
no one
them
like
all.
lining
Like,
up out the door to become a
fish
freaking.
food, basically? Like, by the time I'm done with you, and it can be interpreted, a couple different ways.
yeah.
I loved that line. I was like, what the fuck? Ew. I was like, oh my
Ew.
god, I'm so scared for her. Wait, what?
Ew. Right? Ew.
Ew, what? Huh?
The bridge.
It was very confusing. I thought it was.
The bridge itself to Tarvalon is a half-mile long. It doesn't look like it can support people. There's no supports underneath it, but it's super awesome made. They get into Tarvalon itself. It says, quote, the great buildings and small and stone of every color look like shells or waves or wind-sculpted cliffs, flowing and fanciful, captured from nature or the flights of men's minds. The dwellings, the inns, the very stables, even the most insignificant buildings in Tarvalon had been made for beauty. Ogier stonemasons had built most of the city in the long years after the breaking of the world, and they maintained it had been their finest work. What guys? What's the prettiest city you've ever been to?
Sounds like it. I have not been to a city that beautiful.
But what's a city that like kind of takes your breath away a little bit, or you've ever just walked around and been like, holy shit? Anyone?
I mean, San Francisco has been kind of like, holy shit.
San Francisco,
sure. In a beautiful, beautiful way.
I'd say Prague, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yep. See, mine is Seville in Spain.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, so this,
I'm gonna say Tijuana. Can I change my answer?
Nice.
Guys, just real quick, I gotta go back. This is just amazing. Kay said a joke that made Fart Vader go swing, and I gotta say, when's the last time you fucking said swing?
It's been a while. It's been a while. Let's bring that back.
Yes, I know.
We're bringing that back. Thank you, Fart Vader.
I mean, it makes up for your name.
You're awesome.
You just made up for your name.
This is a diverse city. It says
Darth Vader, don't you know?
The T is silent.
Is that like for
Dutch is my name.
No, it's foie gras, not farfogras.
ABC, what is happening? Where is the party? Yeah, we're going on a mind adventure. We're traveling through the annals of Chapter 11.
All right, so you guys go to a tavern.
There's the grand tome of Chapter 11.
So this Tarvalon is diverse and thriving. It is bumping. It says, quote, men and women of every nation thronged the streets. They were dark of skin and pale and everything in between. Their garments ranged from showing more skin than Egwin thought proper to revealing nothing but eyes and fingertips. For a little country girl, innkeeper daughter, this has got to be just wild.
Swing.
Lady swing. Lady swing.
Lady swing.
Okay, I literally just cleaned up. Yeah. I thought.
All right, what is a lady swing case that I said?
Here, show that picture again. I think that's a lady swing. I
don't answer this.
Clinically,
go for
clinically, that Ogier Grove is considered a lady swing.
Yes.
That's the term.
Right.
Let's see. The Varen's tricky with her cowl. She's taking it off and putting it on at odd times, or at least to Varen. I'm sorry, to Egwin's point of view.
To Varen?
Is there any thoughts about Varen and her cowl at all?
Does Varen have a cowl?
Don't have a cowl, man.
Don't have a couch, Varen.
It seems that she's afraid of people seeing her in the outer city. But then when she gets to the gate, she wants to be recognized, right?
Yeah, they cut the line like jerks.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like, "Hey, man, the line's back there." Oh, I see.
So they're the outer Libya. The outer gates going into the inner gates.
So if you look to the very left of the outer lips, there, that is the town that they are entering from.
Right.
Okay.
Right between you and Todd.
Yep.
Oh,
Right there,
okay.
dude.
Right with my nose. Okay.
Yes, that's the town that they're entering in from. That bridge spans the River Aranon on the east side or west side, I guess. And they're in the town proper now. And the town is bumping. There's musicians, there's hawkers, it's like Venice Beach boardwalk. They're doing shots. Hearing splits. He's like, peace out. I gotta go.
That was sad to see him go.
He's like, I gotta go, tell the king about Randall Thor and how he's the dragon reborn. And they're like, oh, right, I forgot. Thanks.
God, I hate the chat delay, Dan. This is great though. Didn't know him eat that cow.
Yeah. With his teeth.
First off, our fucking chat is the funniest and nicest people in the world, but they're always non-spoilers. That's a perfectly joke for the last couple chapters.
That's a beautiful joke, Matt Stagger.
Nice work.
Fucking Gnome. We had a whole thing about him Gnome slowly chewing that cow to death.
I think I saw a little bit of that.
His name's not Nom and all. His name's Howard. They just call him Nom. That's my brother Howard. Well, Nom. He hums when he eats dead cows.
Many peas?
Do you guys know anyone that hum when they eat?
I do. I go,
When it's good.
Well, I don't know if that's humming. It's more like emphasis on the flavor.
Look out, Tommy, here it comes. Wait, through the lips and past the gums? Look out, Tommy, here it comes? Poor Howard.
I think it's more of a dad joke.
No. Yeah, it is, maybe.
So is Num Num.
No. Hey, welcome to the show, Casey and Ice.
Exactly. It's just a parent to parent type talk. It's like do you know Num Num? Yeah, I know Num Num. Yeah, we know Num Num. We're cool with Num Num.
We're
Got
cool
it.
with
Num
it.
Num. We're good.
Hey,
Num Num. Yep, we're good.
Locker room dad jokes.
Parents.
Hey, it's locker room talk for
We all
dad.
parents here.
Hey, did you see? Hey, Falma looks like a cock. You see it? No, just
Num Nums, right? We all know about the Num Nums.
Yeah. All those peninsulas, yeah.
fjords. So many fjords.
Peninsulas.
My whole ear.
Penisilu. No.
So Varen, it tells them, hey, you guys shut the fuck up. I don't want you saying a word. Silence is the word. Silence. And then as soon as they see Shiriam Sadai, and she's like, oh, you have your you brought back your runaways, right? And Egwin right away is like, we did it. And Varen, here's what Varen did. Ryan, I'm gonna share stream, and Varen is like,
And there's no sound, Dan.
Oh, no.
You need to share screen with sound. Go back.
Had this been 5 years
okay,
ago, I could recite
all right, guys.
It's worth it. All right, everyone. All right.
Stop share. And now it's worth it.
I'm gonna save Dan for this moment. Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great time. Do you like my new orange background? I need to iron it.
I do. I like it.
Audio, I see.
Looks
Anybody
good.
have any tips for ironing something that's already? Oh, wait, there we go.
We have a steamer, honey, in the closet. We can use.
Replay.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Thing. There we go.
The stare.
Nice. The stare.
All right.
The
So
pissing your pants stare. That is the
Nice.
pissing your pants stare.
Dan took himself
Daniel, how dare
He's like, oh, let me
dare
put this
you?
out. He laughed the whole
Drops
show.
the mic.
Wow.
Dude,
All
totally
right.
did, yeah.
Amazing.
All right, so should we sing happy
Parents,
birthday? or
we're
something?
here on our own.
All right.
What's that?
So Vaginas. Oh, he's back.
Peninsulas, vaginas.
There he is.
Vaginas. That's what your brother was just saying.
I don't remember asking you. No, I'm just kidding.
Right?
Yeah, she is. So it says that Varen cut her off with a sharp "Be silent," and then Egwene was sure that for her part, he could be had never seen Varen angry before. And then when she was certain Egwene and the others would remain still, Varen turned back to Shiriam. So that was a total Samuel L. Jackson moment right there for Varen in my head.
It really was.
She gives a warning. She's like, first, she's like, all right, what do I do with these girls? She's like, Varen's like, I need to see the Amerlin now. She's clutching a bundle to her.
Satchel.
Satchel. Thank you. She's like, what about these three? She's like, all right, put them to the rooms, and no need for cells, and not a word to anyone. She says, kind of emphasizing to the girls more than to Shiriam. But Shiriam picks up on it and says, all right, yeah, don't say a word to anyone. If you talk, let me know. Guys, tell me if they talk. Everyone, if they talk, you tell me. I'm going to whip them. I'm going to whip them hard. And then she does let them know that they are spectacular fucking candidates.
Right?
They are super, super spectacular candidates. And then they all just ran away in their eyes. And they're like, what? What kind of jerks is that? They're like LeBron James is a freshman. And then he and then you're like, all right, we got him for 3 more years. And then nope. He just was gone after his freshman year. And you're like, what happened? And then he just shows up and he's like, I'm ready to play. And you're like, no, you're supposed to practice with the team. Or something. Anyways.
We got to get off the LeBron James references.
Yeah, no, come on.
Like, people in the chat like, who?
What?
All right, let's say I had a son named Bronny. No, I'm just kidding. That's LeBron James. All right, so we real fast before this chapter ends, there is mention of wilder discrimination.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys picked up on it.
Oh.
But what's her name? Phelan is kind of a bitch. She's like, when the Amaryllis sends for you, you'll probably be stilled. And what's her name? Theodrin, with an R. She says, I'll take you. She's all, give over, Phelan, I'll take you. I'm called Theoden, and I, too, am a wilder. I will hold you to Shiriam Sedai's order, but I will not bait you. Come. And then Phelan mutters, wilders. On her tongue, it sounded like a curse. Any thoughts about this sort of, I don't know, talk to me.
Yeah, it's like a wilder is like a country bumpkin. Or like a country person, right?
Someone who channeled the one power before they came into the White Tower.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I was thinking it was like a Two Rivers Kenneth.
Oh, no, you're thinking of Gene Wilder.
That guy, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was just like they were talking shit about the fact that they're from. Oh, but I got you now, right? Carry on.
So, yeah, Wilders are a rare breed of channeler that generally you do. The theory is that you do need to be guided through the process of learning how to channel. 3 out of 4 girls will actually die if they are not given this guidance. But Nynaeve, it seems, and other Wilders are that 1 in 4, that 25%. That are able to figure it out on their own without proper training. And they are called wilders, I guess.
I forgot about that shit.
I'm not going to derail us with gender role shit again, too, but it's deep in this chapter and it's kind of slightly disturbing.
Derail it.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to go there. We won't get through the evening again.
No, well, let's take a break first and then get into it. Yeah, that's a valid discussion to have, Josh.
It is a valid discussion.
Let's not.
I think we should come back to that.
Yeah, let's get viral. Let's get controversial. Let's talk about how lame this bullshit is.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, are we ready? This has been a great.
Yeah. I mean, it ends with Egwin and Elaine holding hands, walking off to the rooms, being scared about what their fate is. They thought that they were kind of coming in to a hero's welcome. They brought the fucking Horn of Valir with them.
They thought, they were being heroes. Yeah, she says, I think that in like early in the next chapter, maybe, or
yeah. We can't forget about Matt either.
Correct.
Matt.
They walk through.
They scoot Matt away on his litter to the Amarillan to be healed, apparently. And that's the last thought that Egwin has is light. Let them be healing Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I like what Egwin thinks to herself about Fowlin. She's like, that's a red Aja.
Yeah,
it's got to be a red Aja.
Right.
Just like that bitch.
Well, that's discrimination right there, though, team. Right? That's
right. No, it's all throughout here for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's thrown around.
A lot of levels going on of it. I did like how Egwin thinks of this place now as her home. I think that's an important little tidbit to note about her personality and her identity that is emerging.
Well, it reminded me.
Very different from where she
It reminded me when someone goes off to college and is like there for a month in their dorm and then comes home for Thanksgiving, and then
here it comes.
But then when they go back to school, they're like, I'm here, I'm home. I feel this is where I belong, even though I went quote unquote home for Thanksgiving, and that's where my family lives now. I belong here in the Ivy League or whatever.
I've grown out. I've grown out of mom and dad. Yeah.
And the great UC system.
I'm free.
That is like a freshman kind of feel, or even like second semester freshman when you're like, I kind of miss my friend who has a cat, my neighbor. You have your life over here, and you're like, when you're driving there and you get off the highway, and you're like, yep, all right, cool, this is my home.
First 3 weeks you miss home. The rest of it, you're like, cool.
Is Egwin ever homesick? And if that's the case, then what kind of monstrous father did she really have?
She does mention wanting to go back home during when she and Perrin are traveling. And in fact, she asks if Perrin would dance with her on Sunday, which is a festival that they have that's kind of counter to Beltane Sunday. It's one's a harvest and one's the planting. And he says yes and kind of consoles her. So at that point, yes. But here she's like, I've sucks.
outgrown my home, basically. That's literally what she says. Yeah.
You're right. You're always right. All right, break time, guys.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Everyone mute your mics, and we're going to be listening to the dulcet tones of Homunculus Rags. This boy and me doing our thing. All right, guys. Great show so far.
Yeah, well done.
Fantastic.
Hold on. The interplay between the bass and the piano. Tired of this?
Matt Stagger for purchasing away the Leaf costume mug. Woohoo! So far, you guys are not catching on. Come on, 50% off on the greatest mattresses, bedding, sheets, duvets, duvet covers. You know, if you call mummies and they want a duvet cover, you won't make it so bad. It's probably my duvet. It's shipped right to your door, everybody. His name is Chris, greatest. This Sunday's Tavern Talk will be a special mental health edition of Tavern Talk. We will have Keely and Ricky, who are going to be starting a side new show that Dan and I are super proud to announce. They're called Walk You Feelings. That's right. Walk You Feelings is going to be a once a month mental health examination of real time, modern times. We're going to have professionals on, we'll have guests. Very excited by this project. Again, that's going to be Christine, Nikki, Brother Dan, and I. So it's going to be called What You Feeling. We're going to have a sneak peek. We're going to have them guest with us on Tavern Talk for this Sunday. A lot of stuff going on, guys.
Little candies attached to rolls of paper. Do they still make those?
I wouldn't know. I try not to eat sugar.
They still make those guys? All right, we are gathering. It is a gathering of, everyone is mid something like pros. All right, let's all unmute. So good to see you guys.
So good to see you.
Josh, we get nothing but positive praise for that band, Homunculus Rex. People seem to like it. I miss
Thanks.
it. I miss
Me
making
too.
it
Pretty good.
together.
Hopefully this pandemic can end so we can actually get back together and play some music.
Yeehaw, you heard it here first, guys. The band's getting back together.
I was gonna say sick.
Live?
But
Sick.
Live practice?
That's not the worst time to say that now.
Yeah, not
right,
a good
huh?
time for that.
Hey,
California,
KSI, did you and Todd just coordinate your colors? Because your Rush font and her hair is perfectly matched.
Yeah, we were texting beforehand. I was
We
like, what are you
were.
going to wear, Kate?
I was like, hey, the
Color
shorter
coord.
one, the bob, like this. Yeah, we did. We
Always. We're thinking ahead, always.
Todd texted, catch the spirit, and she texted back, catch the wind.
yeah. You know.
Ryan,
You know us so well.
Dude,
Oh,
that
go
was
ahead.
Rush lyrics.
Yeah. The only ones I know.
I assumed they were, but it was just like.
Catch the spirit! Catch the wind! Ryan, I'm ready to be even more help. I got it.
You got it!
All right.
I got
All
it.
right, here we go with
Oh man.
you guys continuing. Yeah, oh man is right. Deep breaths, deep breaths. We're gonna continue. Says, sweeping the nation. Everyone loves to laugh at you guys. Here we go. Chapter
Swiffer.
12.
Are we gonna Russian roulette? Who gets to go first?
There's 4, and the hardest one is the last one by far, Ryan. So you know which one we're talking about.
When I'm trying to find my stuff, so can I go last, please?
Okay.
Of course.
Yes.
moment.
Yes, but also
Stretch those
Josh,
vocal brains.
please
Yes.
apologize
Ryan.
to our Russian viewers.
Yep.
It's
What am I
Rochambeau.
apologizing for?
It's Rochambeau. There's no Indian givers. There's no Russian roulette. It's Rochambeau and crisscross applesauce. I mean,
Rochambeau, huh?
all right, here we
It
go.
really.
There you go.
Yeah, don't act like you're Swedish or anything. Oh God, that's gone too, right, Ryan? We can't make fun of this. Yeah.
No,
All right.
no,
All right.
yeah, we have, yeah. it's
I'm getting better.
specifically-
I'm getting
All
woke.
Wake up! He's in the chat.
Wake up. I know. That's why I said it.
We love you, Andrew. All
I know,
here we
I was
go.
fine.
Andrew.
All right.
That's us.
Francis.
Wait a minute. I'm not falling for that one again. No.
All right, Josh, you start. Let's go, Josh, Kay, and then with Todd.
No,
All right.
Kay wants to go last. Candor.
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, okay.
Candor.
Thank you, Josh.
Is it can or cond? What'd you say?
Candor.
Candor. Okay.
Yeah, I say Candor.
I do say also Candor in my head, so I am agreeing.
Probably totally wrong then. If we're all in consensus, it's
Probably,
clearly wrong.
but yeah, I mean, fuck, let's go down together,
see.
boys.
Well,
Sean
Chanson
Seaset?
set.
You faked me out with that.
Candor.
Candor. All right.
Oh.
Oh, well done, guys. You guys got it right.
Whoa.
Thank you, thank you.
That's my
Next up.
second one I've ever gotten.
That one was easy though. That one was a gimme.
True. I also happen to like when Josh starts things off.
That's a Z, not an X. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nazrim Tame.
Mazrim Tame. All right.
Mazrim Taim.
Okay.
Taim.
Okay, so I said
Mazrim Taim. I do.
okay. Nice. Taim. Well, there is a right answer. Chanson said.
Mazrim Taim.
Mazrim.
Mazrim.
Mazarin, though. There's a difference
Mazrim.
there.
Mazrim.
No one.
Let's try this again.
I
again.
can.
We almost had it.
Mazrim Taim.
Good job, Ryan.
Close-ish.
Weirdest mix
Yeah.
of
Right.
pronunciations. It's like Gaelic
Oh.
and Italian. I don't know. It's,
Mazrim Taim.
it's a lot.
All right, here we go.
Japanese.
Next up. What's this?
Haddon Merck. Just makes me feel so.
That's how I say it when I read it.
Yep. Haddon Merck also agreed.
Okay, let's see. Shanson, he said.
Haddon Merck.
All right.
All
right, you got that. All right, here's guys.
I gotta admit though, she sounded a little tentative on that.
No,
one.
the R's. Yeah, the R's are like pronounced like really hard in some of the names like that.
Merc.
I
This
forget
one
there was a
when
word last week
Yeah.
that we were surprised by the hard R in it too, if I remember correctly.
Hard R.
Yeah, suck my dirk.
Nah.
All right.
Guys, this one is you are going
It's
to
drink
earn.
my dirk.
You're earning
Is it
your
Merc?
pronounce this medal.
Pronounce
Merc and Dirk.
this.
Oh my
yeah.
freaking
What is this from?
Try. This is.
Oh, I know what this is. I know what it is. This is on the Horn of Valir.
Oh yeah.
Well done, Todd.
Oh, the horn. The horn.
Common
Gotcha.
name.
Try
Horn, the great horn.
and do it fluently. Like do it as if you're just reading it as if you know the language.
Tadrick. Don't hold
Yeah,
back
me
on
even.
this Tadrick.
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 Who's going
Back on
first?
this Tadrick with the stuff that you know.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I know a few things.
You know a
That's the-
few things.
The Horn of
you
Valir.
do, baby.
And
Come
this is one of them. No.
Mm.
All right, Josh,
Tell me more.
give me.
more.
No, hold on. After, Josh.
Go ahead, tell us more, Todd.
All right,
Tell us
go ahead.
more.
All
I
right, tell
only
us
know
more.
two things, and this is one of them. So, no.
And the other one involves Green Aja.
You know what I mean?
Like, does he have a car?
You
Punch.
understand me.
Uh huh.
I'm having the best time. Keep going.
Tia Miavin. Moradin.
Wait.
Right.
Okay.
Esadin Vedin. Tia Miavin. Moradin Esadin Vedin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
I
Exactly.
mimic what he said.
No, you say it. No, it's called pronounce
Fuck off.
this.
No, they're
It's not. It's not called
All right.
agree with this. It's called pronounce
That's
this.
not what he said.
It's all Brennan. Okay. I'll do my own. Todrick. Did he already go? Did I miss it?
No,
Todd,
Todd laid on
There you
us.
go.
What?
Okay, ready?
Everybody said everything at once.
Yep, go.
Miavin. Here we go. Ready?
Go.
Tia Miavin, Mordin, Esande Vadin.
Nice.
Sunday Vadin.
Tia Miavin. Moradin is Vadan.
That really rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, but then. All right.
What is the language?
Sorry. No, what
No,
you
you're
say?
good. Lay it on us. Lay it on us.
All right.
Shit.
That's what he said.
Tiamiavin Moridin, Isain de Vadin.
I was so spot on.
Isainde.
Isain de Vadin.
Tia
Oh,
Miavin
my.
Moridin.
I was
Dude,
so
I think-
spot on.
Oh no, actually,
you
no.
nailed
Case
that.
aside, you're so spot on. Do it again, then.
Fuck all y'all. Tia Miavin Moradin is
That's exactly. That was it.
Accurate.
Isain de Vadin.
right. See?
Isain de Vadin.
Miavin, Tiamiavin Moridin, Isain de Vadin.
Thank you, baby.
Dude, that's
Definitely
perfect.
has a metering to it, like
It's so beautiful.
a sing-songy quality to it.
And
It's really
what,
quite beautiful.
what does this translate into? Anyone?
Well, Todd, Toddums, you know this, right?
Josh?
Yeah, the dead will serve me.
Close. Anyone?
I think it's like the servants of the light will return or something like that.
Okay, Quesadilla, what do you?
Oh, no clue. No clue.
I know what it is.
I have no clue.
Ryan, do you know?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I want to know what Todd wants the dead to serve him. Is it like a dessert, like a good breakfast?
It's at a small
Todd
table
wants to
next
ring
to a
bell.
river.
And some
Like a little
go.
table next to Hades. Sidewalk cafe next to Hades.
I want all day of service. Damn it, all day of service.
Todd's like, I'm sorry. Does this look rare to you? Sorry.
And
the chef's like, hey, Dan, I think this is a great idea. Okay, let's use this as replace poop with old tongue.
Okay.
All right, give them the translation. Replace poop with one of the words and see if they can guess it.
All right.
Let's say the
what?
Poop is no.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this is Ryan. Go for it. You got it.
I got this. All right. So replace poop with old tongue. All right. So I'm going to give you the translation of this, and I'm going to replace one word with poop. You tell me what word it is. The poop is no bar to my call.
The grave.
Mm-hmm.
The grave.
Ditto grave, yeah.
Oh, do we all have to answer? I agree.
Yeah, I should have said Todd, don't say it.
We could. Yeah.
I know. I spoiled that.
We were all there, Ryan. We were all there. No, dude, it's a death metal album.
Wait, are these all from this chapter?
Yes, that was it.
Oh.
This is chapter 12, The Amaranth Seat, and it is from Swan Sanchez' point of view. And we should have had that as pronounced this.
Swan?
How do you pronounce? Yeah, how do you pronounce it?
Now
Swan.
I pronounce it Swan.
Say it like a C1.
C1?
C1? Swan.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was always a Swain.
Swain
Sanchez.
Swain Sanchi.
Swain Sanchez. I always thought it was Swain Sanchez.
C1. I think I was like a C1. I was doing a C1 thing.
I call her Suan.
George Martinez.
Maybe a Suan. Suan. That's it. I don't think I did Suan. It's funny.
We learned that she was born poor in
Oh no!
Tear.
Wait! Here we go.
Tear.
Swings.
Swing Sanchez. Oh fuck yeah! All right, her name is now Swing. Ryan. All right, Fart Vader.
Every time that says swing,
Fart Vader. Yeah, go onto our Discord. Give me your address. I will send you stickers.
But that's only when you tell me.
That is so good. All right, so Swing grew up disenfranchised. She was in poverty in Tear. She worked on her father's fishing boat, and she tends to think and use a lot of fish and boat metaphors.
Lots of them.
I'm not sure if you picked up on all them. It's pretty heavy-handed.
Heavy-handed, yep.
Oh.
Very.
Varen is there to see her. She says, "Oh, I'm not too busy to see her," and she's like, "Yeah, that was a little too quick, but." She doesn't have a good poker face right now. She needs to talk to Marin. So we hear a couple things. Oh, you go ahead, Josh.
Oh no, it's just getting back to what we were talking about before the break with gender roles and stuff. I mean, it's like, and going back to your original question about Varen with the hood too. I mean, it's like, why all this subterfuge and shadow making? I mean, I get it. She's hiding something from the rest of the Aes Sedai, but it's like, I don't know, the implication of that and like the implied. Sorry,
just,
go ahead.
Yeah, well, Todd.
Yeah, she's just trying to hide the Great Horn, I think, right? I don't know. But go on. I'm sorry, Josh.
No.
I interrupted your thought, I think.
Not at all. No. Okay.
Well,
I
this
honestly don't remember what the fuck I was gonna say.
Oh man, god damn it! Sorry.
I look.
See, I interrupted you.
No. We
I
interrupted
interrupted you. Interrupted
you.
him. No.
We're all so polite. We're like, I interrupted Todd, who interrupted you.
Guys,
you were
chat's
in the middle
going
of a
crazy.
thought. This is. I don't know.
What are they
y'all
going crazy
saying.
about?
We can't. Yeah. What are they,
What are they
going,
going
crazy
crazy
about? Can we
about?
talk about it? I think we're supposed to drink.
Nice.
Yeah, we got to rare the
Yeah,
Bella. Bella's bad to the bone.
It's sexy bitch.
They pretty much, she's just spilling some news. First one is that Rand did declare himself the Dragon Reborn. Schwing is pretty relieved, actually, and she's able to pinpoint the day that it happened. Yes.
What? There's this reference to the childhood tricks of eavesdropping. Wasn't that something that we learned about in like book 1 or book 2 with one of the characters?
Moiraine.
Oh yeah,
Moiraine. Yeah. It was like a childhood trick. Yeah.
That was her little trick.
Right.
Her.
So this is interesting, and Varen finds it interesting as well. It says, "Did you know that 2 false dragons no longer trouble the world?" She said, "I hadn't heard that," and she's like, "Yeah, Mazrim Taim." Has been
our sisters Saldea.
Has been captured in Saldea, and the poor fellow in Haddon Merc
was killed before he even had a chance.
Was killed. Both were taken on the same day, and according to rumor, under the same circumstances, they were in battle and winning when suddenly a great light flashed in the sky and a vision appeared just for an instant. There are a dozen different versions of what it was, but in both cases, the result was exactly the same. The false dragon's horses reared up and threw him. He was knocked unconscious, and his followers cried out that he was dead and fled the field. Yeah, it was the exact instant that
it was in the sky of foam
when Randolph Thor proclaimed himself. And Varen says
we get a numerological 10 and a 20 here too. She was 10 years with the Stole, 20 years since I decided to sail these dangerous waters. Like dangerous waters as a reference to the White Tower too. It's like an interesting, Moiraine always uses. She's always cold as ice. She has all these water qualities to her, and it's like the same things we see represented here. I don't know. Do we know if Swan was of the Blue Aja before she became?
Yes, it mentions that. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's again like, these like water metaphors and like fluid metaphors all like peppered throughout her descriptions. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Like using these kind of like broad strokes to draw parallels between her and Moiraine.
So what was that the 20-year line again?
10 years with the Stole, she thought, and 20 years since I decided to sail these dangerous waters. If I slip now, I could wish I was back hauling nets. It's like you were saying about the fishing metaphors and becoming chum.
So how old is Rand?
Ooh, yeah, he's 20 something.
21?
20.
He's about 20.
20.
20?
Okay.
20
but I think
or
we sail
21.
these dangerous waters is her accepting her become sisterhood, right? Or no, I guess
or when she
the shawl is sisterhood. 10 years would become apprentice, right?
Or the shawl could be she's been the Amaryllis for 10 years.
That's what I wasn't sure about. Is it the rainbow shawl or is it they all wear shawls, right? All of the Aes Sedai.
Yeah,
That's what
but
it's called to become a full-blooded Aes Sedai.
Right,
They
but I
only
think
wear-
that they're referring more to that she's been Amaranth for 10 years. She got caught up with this thing with Moraine 20 years ago.
Thing with Moiraine, you think, or do you think it's just the Aes Sedai in general?
They could be. They could be.
I didn't interpret
what-
it that way,
that's
but
what I
that's
thought.
interesting.
Okay. So that we hear that the Rand proclaiming himself, according to Varen, she says, and so the pattern has no room for false dragons anymore. Once the dragon reborn has declared himself,
Now,
which is interesting.
I'm really glad you're emphasizing that, Dan, because I want to bring this up. My question is, does the pattern kill people? Right, like
I think it.
is it? Yeah, go on.
I think it like provides a situation to be killed. It's like I don't want to kill you, but like if you do die,
I think you guys, whoops.
Yeah, you Terrans do what you want.
It was in. It's because the wheel willed it.
I'm just going to take away your powers or your influence. Suddenly, you'll have no. So, were they Taveran and suddenly are no longer Taveran, and so the pattern stops shaping around?
Maybe
Taveran?
maybe they fulfilled their whole Taveran destiny, and
Right.
they've done everything they needed to do, and the pattern is done with them. Sorry, I smacked my mic.
Well, we have heard that it is not necessarily lifelong. It is as long as the pattern needs
as
it.
long as they need it, right? So
it's kind of. Yeah.
But I mean, but that's not
like it's kind of like style. It's like you're out of style, man. Your threads are.
your last season,
bell
bro.
bottoms.
You
Red Bear,
all
Red
out
Bottom.
of season now,
Patchwork.
so we're not gonna pay any attention, right? Yeah,
I don't-
patchwork. What? Last decade. We
I don't
think.
personally feel
I
a
don't know.
need to sorry, Kay, ascribe a will to it in that sense of I feel like it's more like what I feel like we aren't on Earth, but the parallels with Earth are in these other places, right? Whether it's the representations of individuals and humanness in the characters, or perception, all of these things. It doesn't have to be Earth, but yeah, does the will kill? I mean, does the Earth kill people? What do you believe? I mean, is there
Well, yeah,
destiny? Is there
Who
chance?
knows? Who knows?
In the real
I
world
have-
or in the story, both. I mean, it's how can you tell, right?
Right,
False dragons
right.
to me are a tragic
Oh.
story. These are men who are given the same power of the dragon. They just don't have the prophecy and the DNA, I suppose. And so why shouldn't these guys think that they're the dragon? And so the term false dragon, a lot of people are finding Rand are calling him a false dragon as well, because that's just the norm. It's
Right.
like if someone says I'm Jesus, it's like, yeah, prove it. So I think that if someone could actually walk on water, why wouldn't they think they're Jesus? Why, if they are able to multiply loaves and fishes, if they are able to raise Lazarus, why the fuck wouldn't they be the son of God?
If you can do more to help the humanity, or just fucking whatever to be the thing that you need to help. Why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That
I'm
was
talking more
kinda
about powers. I'm talking about more
Powers,
ability.
yeah, but if you have ability to do more, why wouldn't you? Right?
Correct.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you have
Why-
the ability to do more, so billionaires.
yeah.
You have
mean-
the ability to do more.
Hello,
Why
guys, help
wouldn't
out.
you? I
But
mean, it's just a thought.
Yeah, I guess I'm just more of a realist about it.
Maybe.
Our brains aren't really designed to collect information. They're designed to filter information, right? We couldn't concentrate or have consciousness if we were using our full brains, much less like not filtering the constant stream of information that we'd be being delivered by all of our senses and like all of this stuff, right? Like our brain's primary function is not to gather information, but to filter it and make useful from the chaos of the available stuff, like what is important to us in the now. Like there's no reason, there's plenty of other explanations for this stuff that doesn't rely on,
the pattern. But I mean, like, but to go back to the original example, these two incredibly powerful women, and I'm going to remind you, Xwing Sanche was nervous for Varen's arrival, which is very interesting. She was distinctly nervous. Anyways,
they're trying to withhold truth from all the other Aes Sedai, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's so many reasons, right? But they're talking
apparently, including the Keeper of the Chronicles, which is her like right hand man.
Yes, or whoa, man. She like
a woman.
Out,
yeah, go ahead.
Get out. She's like boom out of the door, and basically we have them talking about this simultaneous moment in two different places where two false dragons were simultaneously, I guess, wiped out. Yeah. And Varen's like, that surprised me. Pattern has no use for him anymore.
Boom.
She said almost to herself as if she was kind of realizing it. She's all, no, must be the pattern just doesn't have a need for him anymore.
And so, right. I just wanted to put that out there. Like,
this goes back to the arc. I mean, you can interpret this as the archetype. Like once the slot is filled, like all the excess material gets sloughed off, right? I mean, if you look at this as like a series of like interlocking gears that are turning, or however you want to visualize the metaphor of the pattern, like
what is the purpose of false dragons though within the pattern?
They're all trying. I mean, this is where I go back to. Like, they're all archetypes. They're all expressing these archetypes, right? Of the role of the different types of heroes within this mythology. So you look at them and like say like many people feel the drive to become the dragon, right? But how that becomes realized are only those who can make it through the gauntlet of
the
trials. It's like a religious metaphor, right?
Is it the pattern just like trying over and over again to make it happen, and then eventually it will work?
Or it's the drive, or you can interpret it as the interior drives of the character, the humans in the world, driving them to express particular, again, like these harmonies in the pattern where the different frequencies line up. And these patterns repeat themselves over time. That's kind of like the common mythos of the universe. There's a ton of different ways to interpret it, obviously. I mean, it just depends on. At this point, we don't have enough information to like really make a call.
Josh, you keep saying that.
No, and he's right.
True.
And he's right.
Take a sip.
Take a sip. Ryan,
maybe logic, Ryan. It's always maybe logic. It's not. We don't have to get to.
No, it's fun. These are perfect. Let's move on though. So the other thing I really wanted to mention in this chapter is Matt and the horn. So Varen pretty much bluntly says, quote, so long as Matt lives, the horn of Valir is no more than a horn to anyone else. If he dies, of course, another can sound it and forge a new link between man and horn. He later says when Swan's like, Xwing is like, let me think about it. She's like, as you say, mother, of course, a few hours will make one decision for you.
Ooh, yeah. This is a heavy moment.
Whether Rand Matt will ever die through their healing.
Whether they even choose to heal him or not.
Yeah.
Right.
This is actually a very heavy moment, actually.
Right.
Because they have the horn. They can let him die, and Xwing could be all
right, and she could have it. This is a horn. This is the horn that Ingtar didn't even want to hold, or was like desperate to hold, rather.
But that was him fighting against. Yeah, I mean, the good man fighting against his darkness, right?
Well, that was his salvation. Was that horn? He's like, oh, if I get the horn, then I can go back to the good side. I'm sure.
You think so? Or it was him going over to the Dark One. I mean,
No,
Maybe that was his mission.
He wanted to use the horn and the legends that came back to go destroy Shia Ghul.
But then we find out later that he was a Dark One.
Yeah, but he.
No, it's in that moment.
Why would that not be what the Dark One sends to him as his mission?
But
what he says. Let me clarify. What he says is he's like, more or less. He starts muttering to Rand in that alley, and he's like,
"Yeah,
I thought if I got the horn, I could save myself. I thought I would get salvation from getting this horn. I could blow it, and I could turn back to the light or something." And Rand's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, and then that's when he said that he was pretty much a Dark One. I'll let them in the gates and blah, blah, blah. So he does mention that. And that explains why he was just like, "Give me the horn." And Matt's like, I got it. And throws it over the fence and hops over and never gives it to him for some weird reason. But Ingtar was desperate to have that horn because that was to him.
But
to
Rand
me,
had noticed him obsessing over it for a long time. I mean, like, it
right.
wasn't.
Because he was like, if I blow that horn, then my contract with the Dark One's over and I can be a good guy again.
I guess, I always interpreted it as it was like a mission that had been implanted in him was to go and blow the horn. And that was sort of like his toil. But I mean, I
like that.
About that.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, I mean, it could be the way he like.
I think he really thought he could be a double agent, though.
Yeah. No, you might be both right. I mean, Josh, he might have had that same mission, but he's like, that's the only way I'm going to even get close to it is to be on the exact mission to get it, but to
change the outcome by.
In the end, I'm going to fucking.
And I mean, maybe we are witnessing someone who's TAVERN like of Schwingtar, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe we are witnessing someone overcome their own TAVERN moment in that.
Ooh.
Swing.
What do you mean? Overcome their own TAVERN moment? What do you mean? Like
how we're left with this question from these books of like, can Rand, have free will to decide whether he submits to his destiny? I don't know how you want to say it, but I think he has this sense of this impending doom. Go ahead, Kay. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I totally cut you off. We're so polite.
I know.
Lay it on us, lady.
No, I think we already covered it with, so long as Matt lives, Varen went on, the Horn of Valir is no more than the horn to anyone else, right? So as long as Matt lives, then you have to.
Yeah.
Well, let me point out.
He's got an equipment problem, an equipment addiction. Got the knife, got the horn. Like
a
what?
little bit of equipment.
Well, let me point out as well that Egwene was concerned about the pace that Varen was taking with Matt. She's like, "What about Matt?" And she's like, "Don't worry, child, I got it." And then later, it says, she says, "Quote: The boy must be taken somewhere away from everyone. He is ill, dangerously so, dangerous to others as well as to himself." And then they take her away. He doesn't say he needs to go be healed. He says, so maybe that information came ahead of time, or maybe she was not,
Well, we learned that people brought their sick to the Aes Sedai for healing. So maybe it's just like.
Yes.
We're seeing the ambulance acceptance thing here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the MTs that's there.
No forms being signed. Don't worry about us. We got him.
We got
He'll
them.
be fine.
Emergency.
So I'm willing to move on. There's mention of the Shanshin as well, and that they use the one power as a weapon, and that Schwing had actually heard this from reports. The pigeons had spoke of that. So apparently she's getting pigeons as male.
Or female pigeons, I'm sure.
Or parcels.
The rats of the sky, pigeons.
Yeah, they're homing delivery pigeons. I don't know. I just thought I'd point that out.
Pigeons.
Yeah.
Yet another piece of evidence of Earth. I'm sorry.
Is there a rookery somewhere?
What? What do pigeons say? I'm not sure. Josh, what do pigeons say? That's what they do? I'm like, quack, quack, squawk.
Skyrim.
Yeah, I'll say anything. Clearly.
Oh, yeah. How do you know? I mean, I bet if you were a black-feathered pigeon.
Yeah, I know, but my
Have you
point
ever-
is to prove that this is Earth.
Have you ever thrown a piece of bread to a group of pigeons? They certainly discriminate. The little pigeon does not get the bread.
Little pigeon.
Caca,
Who
yes.
cares? But you're right.
We are.
I
That's all this is.
Is there anything else we want to touch on in chapter 12 before we jumped into punishments?
Anything you want to finger before we move on?
I like to finger things, obviously.
That's what the clock says.
I like the lionfish metaphor about like it cornering the shark and like.
Oh yeah, that was a good part with Varen. She kind of came back at the Emerald Seed.
Well,
with another metaphor, with an even stronger metaphor. She was like, "Good metaphor, but."
There you go. Let me lay a real historical gem on you.
She calls out Schwing's metaphors a bit. She earlier she called out there was like you can't teach a fish to fly, and she's like, I always thought that was a fucked up metaphor. There are some fish that do fly, and so she's evaluating each metaphor as if it's factual. She's like, that's a good one. I've actually seen that.
Sounds like I think Josh might be relating to this woman.
No, I was thinking more about it referencing like a real condition people have in the real world, but
Oh,
Go for it.
oh yeah,
Oh, please do.
Spectrum.
yeah,
Oh.
Spectrum,
Uh-huh.
a real, I mean something that certainly plagues the world that Robert Jordan was writing in the 90s with this.
Yeah, interesting.
And a real
Yeah,
issue.
Yeah, for sure.
Pathetic. Go
All right. Let's so punishment. They pretty much get to their rooms. They're escorted to their rooms by kind of Snippy accepted. We do have a drinking obligation here because quote Varen says, Moraine says, I know why people think Aes Sedai are puppet masters.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. All right, so we got a drink.
Yeah, all right, guys. Fucking. I'm getting really sick of this.
God. Ugh. I'm so mad.
Yeah, that was uncalled for.
Oh.
Each little
You
novice
puppets show no expression, by the way.
drink. So each of these little novice I don't know. I don't want to call them glory holes. But I'm calling them glory holes. Each
They're
of these
kind of like
No, they're holes of sadness. They just listen to each other crying all night.
They're sadness holes.
There you go.
But
That doesn't sound right either.
Sadness.
They're communication hole. That just,
so no one's putting their penis in it.
sounds right with holes at the end.
It's not like a Porky's situation.
How about
Wow.
Remember Porky's? Remember that, Ryan?
portal? It's a portal that's not a stone that doesn't do anything that the normal portals do.
Yeah.
That's what they tell them, right?
OG portal.
That's what they tell them.
It's just a hole in the
That's
wall,
what they're
but
like.
it's
This
not perverted.
There are
is
lots
a portal
of
site.
Or so we think.
Mm-hmm.
so even like when they go to the Amaryllin's place, there's a lot of curved colonnades that they're walking through. There's a lot of ornate. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Holes.
Holes. and holes and holes in every room. Yeah, that's what I'm
Holes
thinking.
in
yeah.
every room of every size, every
Remember,
color,
yeah.
shape, and consistency.
And all gears are the most proud of this. Think about that, guys.
They love it.
Totally.
They love it.
Why wouldn't
engineered all
they?
those holes.
The girls are talking about running away. Let's see. The funny thing is, all the Aes Sedai know about the halls, as they were once novices, are accepted. Exactly, and they've not mortared them up. That's probably
they just leave them.
Yeah, it's part of like everyone knows that when you're kind of a freshman, that's what you do is you talk to people against the wall.
Well, there's some weird parallels between like the way that the White Tower treats the novices and accepted with like torture essentially, and the way that the Xian Shan, however you say that, treated they're channeling women with the collars. I mean, there's this like.
Egwene makes a point. She makes a comparison to that too at one point, I think. Right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's a number of like, cross comparisons between them. I mean, in the whole thing, like, why this need for authoritarian control in something that's such like a natural and beautiful thing? I don't really understand. Like, the reason for it within the narrative, but.
Again, I mean, Egwene's leash holder could have been way worse. The other girl was like cut off her hand. She doesn't need her hand to do this stuff. She was like whip her, and she's like, no, I tend to try to treat my pets nicely, and it's a shitty
but then
thing.
she uses like mental torture and like just
she does. Yeah,
I mean,
but again, it doesn't seem to be very much of a limit to how fucked up you can be.
Yeah, but that's just Robert Jordan being a perv. I mean, that whole part of the book was like uncomfortable to read and unnecessary and like.
Oh, just you wait.
Well,
it did
expect
feel
me to complain more later.
though. To this point, to Josh's point, and up until this point in the story, it did not feel like it was necessary to happen. It only felt like there was a minimal amount of something bad, for us to know that they're bad people, but it didn't need to be to that extent. But however, I don't know, and that's honestly, it's just
had a bit of like Game of Thrones gratuitousness to me. It was like
really,
yeah.
It is uncomfortable, and it is rightly created some PTSD in Egwene. She was thinking of suicide like within the first week.
Very much so.
However, I like that about Egwene's character development and the way that she's become this super naive person to this person who has to be strong because she now knows no other way. And
You mean naive?
it's changed, and naive as well, but Nynaeve has always to me been a very strong character, and like
I was just making a joke about naive.
Yeah, right. Like, naive.
Naive.
I don't know what you mean. I'm yes-anding.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What? Someone told me they took it out of the dictionary. I had to go look.
Right? It's like the glossary or the. Yep.
Dangerman 905 is saying that PTSD and what is very done. So he thinks that the level. I kind of agree. I think that the peril and the
repeating thoughts,
the gravity of the situation is he's not shying away from it. I think it was psychologically hard to read. I don't think it was as gratuitous as say like Roose Bolton cutting off
castrating Theon.
It was no Ned Stark situation. It just
The first time I read this book, I did not appreciate the trauma that Egwene had endured, to be honest. But through this book club that we're doing here, the reread, It is so obvious now that this has affected her character and her reactions to stress. This is the second time with the White Cloaks, and then with the Shanshin before, that she just blew shit up in front of them.
I mean, I guess I could reframe it and think about it in terms of like an educational aspect. Like, if you like look at it from one level above, like interpreting it as the author's intent, we can look at it as like educating us about the experience of suffering that people who have gone through similar experiences in the real world have gone through. I mean, again, there's a lot of ways to interpret it.
I love the different perspectives you're bringing, though. I love that.
Really important, which is really
So
important, with Robert Jordan, because he, I don't know about like his service in Vietnam, but he did 2 tours of duty in Vietnam, and I don't know what he endured or like what he encountered.
How much of that is encrypted in here as like
maybe
experience?
there's he had friends that were POWs that were tortured, so
He certainly was involved he certainly was involved in combat. From what I understand, he worked as a gunner on a helicopter. And the story I heard, and I may be wrong on this, was that there was an RPG or some sort of ground-to-air shoulder missile kind of was aimed at their helicopter and flying, and he shot it out of the air. That was like how close they were to death. But I mean, he had one of them big old like.
Their machine guns, yeah.
But still, I mean, that is involvement.
Yeah.
Just a fun fact.
Fun
fact.
I do think it's important to understand their world.
A moment of silence, I think, Todrick, and it was like, whew, fun fact. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just totally.
Way to reframe it, Todd.
You're so funny. I love it.
It is interesting though, Dan. I remember kind of like skimming through it or not really remembering the importance of it, but it also only really lasts like 3 chapters, and then it's done. It's really short. She's captive, and then she kind of goes through it, and then it feels like
I'm gonna keep an eye for that character. I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see if it just goes away or if it's still there to some degree.
I'm curious to find out as well.
Yeah.
Is she gonna be blowing?
Brother Dan, I'm very curious to find out how she's gonna deal with all of this.
Right now it's pretty obvious. She's like, I'm never doing it again.
She's like freaking the fuck out.
I'm never wearing gray again.
Yeah,
Bella.
she's like, I don't want to be collared.
Yeah, guys,
I won't be stealed.
She went to the mall. Yeah, she went to the mall.
Like, I won't be stealed. Anyway.
Not only the PTSD is like realistic, but also like the addiction to the one source. Like,
yes.
The way that they talk about it.
So we have mental health problems.
Gosh, Josh,
we have
it feels so
abuse. Sounds like this person needs to be in a type of program that I know
there must be
about.
some kind of way out of here.
No, that's what's always. Yeah, I'm always thinking about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Egwin. She went to Hot Topic and she saw all these people wearing chokers, and she just went fucking ballistic.
She's all never blew it up. All right, so Elaine and Egwin get unceremoniously slam open the door. Let's go. The Amaryllis wants to see you, or whoever. Boom, boom, boom. They meet Nynaeve. Nynaeve gives them sweet little hugs, which is hey, I've missed you. Boom, boom, boom. Much love, much love. They get to the Keeper of the Chronicles, and the Keeper is a little weird. Oh, go ahead.
We get more of this like Two Rivers self-doubt too that we get all throughout Perrin. Like, I just feel like so many of these. I don't know. We talked about this last week. Like, he's just so down on himself in a lot of ways, and so's Elaine. And I mean, so's Egwin.
Okay.
There's a lot of like self-doubt kind of peppered throughout the whole chapter. Things like this, like And what if I don't know enough yet? Enough about the world, enough about the power? What if just channeling can still kill me? She refused to think of that. Right? Like there's this kind of like in Perrin, this internal battle between a desire to like let go and a desire to like, you know, be afraid and drawn into this thing. Which again, gender roles and whatever. If you look at it from one level further out, but it's interesting the way it's like kind of peppered all throughout the chapter.
Yeah. Now, do you think it's because of circumstances and their age, or do you kind of think it's?
Well, certainly, like different chapters, POVs have different levels of. I mean, they feel distinct in that sense. He is a good writer, in the sense that we really get an affect of like who the characters are.
Yeah, he embodies each one through the writing pretty well. Yeah,
very well.
Yeah, I'm trying. As you're talking though, I'm trying to imagine a parallel where they're not feeling that way, and I don't know if I would like these characters. And if they're just like, I got it. Yep, I come from Edmondsfield. I'm in Tarvalon. Let's fucking do it, baby.
I don't know that I would be
not feel that way.
Yeah.
Go on, Kay. Yeah.
No, I don't know that I agree. I don't know that I'd be super comfortable.
Yeah, he makes them very human. Just.
Yeah, it really does. Humanizes everything.
Robert Jordan, go for it. Carry on, Dan.
All right. Leandrin, it's funny. So I'm sorry, not Leandrin, Leanne Sedai. It says, quote, the keeper paid no attention to the accepteds leaving. Instead, she studied the remaining women, tapping a forefinger against her lips, till Egwene had the feeling they had all been measured to the inch and weighed to the ounce. Nynaeve's eyes took on a dangerous sparkle, and she had a tight grip on her braid. Leanne is just sizing these girls up without...
The paragraph before, Egwene only had eyes for Leanne Sedai, literally. It's like, you know, again, with the pervy kind of undercurrent here.
Yes! Josh, what page are you on? I totally remember reading that.
I'm on page 148 of my version, but it's
Thank
like...
you.
Yeah, I'm on 149.
Probably different for your... Might be different for your big copy.
My big luscious copy here.
Yep.
It might be 125.
125 is another.
Yeah, I got the big luscious copy.
Oh, you have the big luscious copy too, Todrick. Yes.
Chapter 13, fifth page-ish.
Something has to do with about something has to do.
Nynaeve took on a her eyes.
Go ahead.
Sparkle.
Yeah.
Go on, Dan.
Yeah. So I mean, I just thought it was kind of interesting that she was just staring at him, and then finally she looked at the door and said, "Enter." That wasn't something that Schwing Sanche asked her to do. That was something she was doing on her own.
The 7 Ajas are referenced, so we get the 20, 10, 7 here with the numerology stuff.
Nice.
Ah, the 7. Yeah, 7 days of death.
7 Ajas.
Nice. There was also a dozen mentioned in chapter 11.
Doesn't mention chapter 11, and then we get the 13.
We're chapter 12.
Ajas.
The chapters have numbers in it.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading a fucking book.
We're on book 3.
You all are focused on numerology.
Well, we're in chapter 13, and there's 13 Black Aja.
You're right. And maybe I should be more focused on this shit. But I'm not.
I read this chapter on a Friday.
I'm not.
I think I might have to, actually.
I love that you're focused on this. This is
There's
awesome.
more later. There's like about 15 numbers, like a couple pages later. Too.
Really?
All right, let's
go to
the.
You can't read forward.
No, not the part head of the part that we've read in the chapter that we're
Well,
at.
let's
Right
let's
right.
jump into it. Let's just go
Gotcha.
into it. There were 3 sisters died that night, as well as 2 orders, 7 guards, and 9 servants.
Wait, are we going to chapter 13?
And there's
No,
the
it's
three
yeah.
Okay.
We're on that.
3
chapter.
types of angry owl. That page before that, and
Oh yeah. So yeah, all right. Let's get into the. So there were theft.
This?
There was yeah. Oh shit, we didn't. Yeah.
Dude, when we do chapters, we gotta do the fuck up and
Yeah.
Call yourself a show host. I have a talk about that. All right, here we go. Just kidding. Here we go. Chapter 13. Pronounce this. Let's whiz through this, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Yeah, Todd's like, yep. All right.
Nice.
Pronounce this. We're whizzing.
Let's start with Todrick this time.
All right. Angriel.
Okay.
Angriel.
Angriel. I'll just go second.
Okay.
I say angry-el, but who knows?
Angry.
Yeah, you would.
Angry.
Say about
An angry-el, you know, like me.
I like Angriel.
My name's
Angry-el.
Alan. I'm angry. Call me Angry Al.
Angry
All right.
Azriel.
Angry Al.
What is
Angry-el. Asriel.
song?
Azriel.
Pronounce this.
Oh, Sangria. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, Todrick.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, Son Angriel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
is
you-
it my turn?
All right. Yeah. Go, Kay.
Okay. Song. I'm gonna. Angry Al.
Perfect.
Drop the mic.
All right, Josh.
Guys, every time she reads this, she's doing that. It's crazy.
It's funny. It's funny though. Huh?
We can't get through a chapter together.
It's pretty funny though, right?
I say
Really sorry.
no. It's fucking
amazing.
awesome.
That was brilliant.
Great.
Sa angry-el.
Who was doing?
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry, Ryan. What'd you say?
Who was doing the bass line during that song? Someone's
That
like,
was-
no, not
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh came in with this sub.
He came in and like gave me a beat.
We got all dubstep on it.
Good old Debbie
great.
on it.
Chazzy says.
Chastity says.
Sa Angrial.
She saw.
Sa angry.
Saw
Angry.
Angry-el.
Which
Angry-el.
Angriel.
Josh was
No.
right.
No.
wish.
Josh, hungry.
That
I
was
think
a
so.
fairly-
I think
So
it
angry.
is.
All right.
Angry-el.
I think it was. I think it was. Oh.
Todd.
Yeah,
first.
Todrick.
Totems.
Are you ready?
Ta-dum.
Terre Angriel.
This is what you do on the slopes.
Exactly.
They're hungry. They're hungry. Yeah. I know. I'm gonna get it.
Exactly.
No.
Right? Nope.
No, we don't got time. Todd's getting angry. Todd's gonna be
I am Joe.
I'm Terry Angry Owl.
Oh, Terry Angry Al at this point. Oh, Terry Angry Al.
Tear.
Sure.
Angry-el.
Okay.
Shantony says.
Terangrial.
Okay.
Angrial. Terre Angrial.
Tear
All
angry-el.
right.
Guys,
All right.
nation, I just heard from Tennessee. They said thank you for sweeping our nation.
What do we do with the dust file now, Dan? We can't just lift up. Oh,
I don't know.
There's a lot of dust from sweeping our nation.
Well, that's that's a lot of people from
Rumba.
a lot of people from Oklahoma are on their way to California in wagons
Can
because
we
of the
Rumba
dust.
the Roomba?
There's a sludge of dust moving from the age of legends.
There's a weird dust bowl.
Dust. Oh no. Oh where?
It's a cereal ball.
Kate down there's talking about Roomba.
Yep. I just
like
want
sweeping the
a
nation. She's
Roomba.
like, how
I
about
just
a Roomba?
want it clean.
just clean the nation, would you?
Just clean the fucking thing up, please.
Just get in the corners. I mean, Florida's like deep in the corner. It's hard to
Fucking
clean
Christ.
Florida.
Maybe we are just maybe
Pringles.
we're the handle. We're either the handle of,
Florida's a hat and Merc of
Cheese and rice.
or the swing.
It's that place behind the chair.
All right,
Todrick.
Maris Sedai.
Maris. Today.
Ooh.
Hey.
Ooh, like you have one up in us. Maris and I.
All right, we got three. We got
Maris.
three different kinds.
Chesney says
Maris Sedai.
Maris.
Maris.
good old
Maris.
Maris.
Fuck yeah.
Maris.
That sounds like a
Maris.
that sounds like a character on Seinfeld. Maris.
Maris.
I was thinking like Leave It to Beaver, but
And
It's more
that
like,
is-
yeah.
And that
she
is
wa-
all.
Her name was Maris. She
Well
was
done.
a showgirl. She had something ribbons down her hair and the dress something down to there.
She got married in the age of 14.
Right?
So everyone pretend we're on Brady Bunch.
Right?
Uh-huh.
All right, guys,
what?
let's officially thank our friend Chancey. She does not have to
Todrick,
do this,
look.
and yet she does, and I appreciate her. And this is a fun segment, so thank you, Chancey. You're the best,
Yes.
Chancey Sedai.
Chancey.
Cassidy.
Oh.
The linguistic Sedai.
Yep.
Linguistic should I?
All right, so
Should I?
they
Should
meet.
I?
Should I?
Should I? Sedai?
Sedai.
I'm should I Sedai. I'm indecisive.
Hello, my name is Should I Said I am from Lodi.
Should I?
I just got like a whiff of like
My favorite
Sweet
food is
pickles
ties.
Should I Said I is amazing.
should I Sedai.
Nice.
Sweet pickles.
Sweet pickles is great.
All right, so they go into the Amerlin's study, office, anteroom. I don't know her area, and
Oh no.
and she ignores them for a bit.
Hang on,
Well,
we
she
gotta
should.
talk about how the Angrial, the Terra Angrial, are.
You should
Yeah,
definitely.
oh.
Should I say I? You should definitely say I.
Should I Sedai? Yeah, I should. But I mean, they
Probably.
are.
She
Probably
should not
Sedai.
Sedai, okay?
Yeah,
Should not
She
Sedai.
should not
She
Sedai.
never should have. Should
She should never should have Sedai. Never should she Sedai.
She's turned into the.
I Sedai.
Should I Sedai?
Hey,
But they do look like these pieces of technology, right? Like the gates that they walk through. We are getting long in the tooth, I know, but
no,
the gates that they walk through when they become sisters, the binding rod that they hold during the ceremony, like, you know, these things are like artifacts in the truest sense of the word.
So all right, so
All
let's
different magnitudes. Yeah.
let's go right into it then. So real fast, they meet with the Amaryllis. She doesn't really acknowledge them. She finally says, "Oh, the runaways came back." No, we didn't run away. Blah blah blah. Then we hear about the Black Aja that had stolen a bunch of shit. A lot of it that they didn't even know what it
What
did.
it did. Right. And
So yes,
she's got the sense to be like, oh, maybe they knew what these things did. I should be afraid of that. Like,
right. So
Yeah.
to me, this is really interesting to have these magical devices that are meant for a purpose, and most of them, it seems like they don't even know what the fuck it does.
they weren't evil enough.
We don't know if the oath rod was designed for this purpose. We don't know if the novice test that we saw was designed for that purpose. They use it for that. And it is arbitrary. There is no rule. I mean, they only do it because everyone else. Correct. They're just saying, okay, yeah, go through this, and we think this will make it better. But a lot of the shit, they don't know what it is. A lot of information was destroyed. Every library of Alexandria, I guess, burned to the ground during the breaking, and none of these things they didn't tape the instructions to the actual tool.
These are mostly the Terangriels that they stole.
Right. The Angriel and the Sangriel are the small ones, and then the medium size are the consistent.
Totally.
Are they like a statue, Todd? Is that how you read them?
Yeah, the Terangriel is actually the testing arches.
Yeah, sorry. No, I mean the Angriel in themselves and the Sangriel. Do you see them as like ankhs or like figurines? Are they?
Yeah, they're smaller and they're known what they do. I don't know. Sure.
What about UK? How do you imagine the Angriel, like in the Angriel? Do you see little figurines or?
I don't know. I don't have a visual.
That's what we've seen that Moraine had. She had a little ivory carving that was
little
aged.
bitty carvings, but there's nothing else.
Right. And it does get as large as these things that you walk through and experience different lives. So,
like
we're not.
Saying, Todd, the other ones don't follow the same pattern. They aren't all the same. Each one's individual. Each one's unique and more scary.
I will mention as well, because it was brought up in the last book. So when Rand went to Kyrian, on his way there was that humongous statue that they are excavating.
And he feels the draw of the Sidon.
And that was mentioned that was a Sangria or Terangria. I think Sangria. Yeah, something. I get them confused, and I've already read the book, so don't be bummed if you get confused too.
Totally.
There were like 3 different ones.
Yep.
It said where all the Angriel and Sa'angriel Egwene had ever heard of were small. Terangriel could seemingly be of any size. Each had apparently been made for a specific purpose by those Aes Sedai of 3,000 years ago to do a certain thing, and Aes Sedai since had died trying to learn what. Died or had the ability to channel burned out of them. It is a dangerous study to try and find out what these little magic things are doing, which is pretty cool.
So like testing new food or something. I mean, I think of like primitive cultures, like the first person to taste a berry, or like
I think of that all the time, Josh. I'm all, how do they figure out if
How do they know it's poisonous?
Or
that hemlock kills you. Kills anybody.
Watch what animals eat it, I guess.
Trial and error, right?
An artichoke does not look edible.
On their enemies. Yeah, I mean, you're eating a thorn.
For that
How
reason,
about an eggplant?
This all seems like it was
brave person did. No.
Right. Who ate the first chicken egg?
Right. Yeah. So to Josh's point, like when the fuck are we?
When the fuck are we?
When and what are we?
Oh gosh.
But I mean, they knew enough that
For the love of
diseases
the
can
light.
catch, right?
Or whatever they say.
Wait, say
It's
again?
a weird mix of the world. I agree with you.
Yeah,
Kay.
it's a crazy.
They seem to have a sense of germ medicine, but they also
When
are,
and Nynaeve had their hands cleaned after Rand pointed that out in the first book, Brian. When they were cleaning, he's like, "What? Why is their hands clean?" When they were all like working on after the winter night.
right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Germ
Wow.
theory of medicine, but also like there's they're living in kind of like medievalish society in a way. It's like taverns and unrefrigerated beer and
Right.
horses and
Tam cider.
swords.
Yeah.
Tobacco.
Tobacco.
So not only were there thefts, but there were murders as well. We do hear again, I'll quote it, 3 sisters died that night. 3 magic people, as well as 2 warders, 7 guards, and 9 of the servants. That is
13 dark ones. Or black Aja.
right.
12
That's it.
plus 1.
That is 12, 21 people who die.
21 people died, yeah.
And they so
Also a multiple of 3. I mean, numerologically it's a 3 if you add 2 and 1.
So what's interesting right here is they're worried that the Terangrials that were stolen might be more powerful in like Dark Friend's hands or Darker Power's hands. I thought that was interesting.
And that might be why they never
Terangrial.
figured out what they did, right? Because they weren't willing to like go to that part of using the light under the White Tower.
That was really interesting, I thought.
right, if a sister is from the black persuasion and figures out what it does, they're not going to share it with the Amaryllis.
She's like, I know what that one is.
Yeah, they're going to save it for the.
Black's not a part of the rainbow.
I liked this specific.
Josh, black is all colors. All right, go on.
I was being facetious.
Always.
Yeah.
I'm
not saying it's right.
More to say about that. There was one thing that I did highlight in here that was pretty cool. I thought, anyways.
Yeah,
go for it.
Sure.
Lay it on us.
The full sympathy slid off. However you want to say the name.
Swing.
Face like water running off a roof. It was a false sense of sympathy. Ran off her face like water.
But also the water blue Asha references again too. That's
Right.
great. I didn't notice that one.
Nice.
Fuck, you guys are blowing my mind. Which
Nice.
is not hard.
No.
I'm really simple-minded, but
Josh took that blue step to the next step. That was
Glued it up.
That was all Josh.
I blew it up. You blew
You blew it up.
Yeah.
You blew it up, buddy.
That's a really
Those
a really
water
interesting
references, though. That there's references of water with Moraine and Schwing that's pretty fast.
Well, I like the sense of false sympathy.
totally.
Yes.
That was good to pick up.
In the way that it all ties into everything that's going on, and how deceitful everybody is. Everybody has their own agenda. It's all specific to just themselves or just their species or just really just themselves individually. It seems at this point to me. Anyway.
No, I agree. It's weird that the most cultured people are the most tribal.
Mhm.
Like here we are in the like fanciest city at like essentially the university of
The city
female
of
magic, and they're like highly tribal. Like,
yeah,
it's a weird contrast for sure.
It is weird. There's a lot to think about.
Yeah, and if you think about how we do know the Age of Legends had a kind of, I don't know, maybe more advanced understanding, whatever. It's like you get the sense that each turning of the wheel, they kind of get a different kind of stab at this problem, right?
Yeah.
Like how do we organize ourselves around these abilities, and how do we take our understanding of like the cosmology and the end of the world end times, and how do we rally for that? And so far, Josh, you seem to think that they're not doing a good job, basically, correct? Like right now, like Tarvalon, the way they're factioning off, you're saying like, okay, this seems a lot of unnecessary shit. Everyone's brutal to each other. They're factioning off. They're supposed to be the harbingers of like good and order in the world, and they seem to be right. Like,
but who's in charge of the wheel? Who cares? Who's in charge of the wheel? If we
wheels just roll over whatever in front of them, right?
But going to Ryan's point, though, point, like, what is infecting Tarvalon?
Right.
Is that what you're getting at, Ryan? There's like an infection.
What's affecting that? Yeah.
And I think
there's a zealotism.
I think it's the Black Aja. They've already sowed the seeds of discord and chaos and hate.
Totally.
Is there something real quick? Is there something is there something inherent within the structure of Tarvalon that allows for it to happen, though, or is it the Black Aja is taking something that is pure and good and wholesome and would work without the Black Aja and, I guess, tainting it for lack to
Ryan, to Todd's point, we do hear someone kind of yell some. I hear the Aes Sedai helped him.
Yeah.
She's like, that would never have happened before.
And Huron was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna fight."
Right. He's like, "This is real. I'm out of here." Yeah.
And so the attitude has changed a little bit from what the norm is. So there is some sort of corruption, it seems, going on, or at least an attitude shift or cultural adaptation that is not forgiving.
Towards Tarvalon, for sure.
And that could very well be because of Black Aja, I suppose.
I mean, there's a lot of different lenses you can use to look at it, right? I mean, this is how the Aes Sedai are described, right? I mean, people fear them, but they also like see them as like always misleading and like answering truthfully, but kind of in a gray way or like in a manipulative way.
Right.
So like
you never
the truth they speak is not the truth you.
And if I wear my gender roles lens, like that looks really bad. If I wear my story interpretation lens, it feels.
Wear the gender roles lens for a second and tell us what that looks like.
I mean, it seems really sucky, but also, I mean, there's like an implication there about the feminine and about power, both like how power corrupts regardless of gender, but also, I mean, you could look at it as a parallel with the female experience in our real world. You can look at it as
agreed.
Robert Jordan's feelings about women coming through subconsciously. You can look at it. I mean, again, it's like depending on what level you want to look at it from. There's a lot of like different things they can say. They're backstabbing and like the whole like just the relationship between the characters. Like the female friends are super close, but then their relationships with those who are close to them are like very fraught. Whereas you see like Rand and Perrin more able to have a deep relationship, but also like the interfacing with the world is a different flavor and less fraught with disdain and disruption. I don't know. I haven't quite wrapped my mind around it all the way.
I mean, we also have to consider the backdrop that they live in a world where men who can channel go mad and do bad things. That's the backdrop.
Kill their friends and family.
Right, and now we're seeing that the Aes Sedai are like that too. Are really like that too under the hood.
But it's sad that the Aes Sedai are like all women, or like all the people that have this power are all women because it kind of gives women a kind of bad rap.
Like
we get a bad rap in the whole situation.
There's a lot of story left
because we do have the power. But to Josh's point during our last discussion, when you were saying like, well, there's all these like male heroes. All the heroes are male.
How do we know that
There's so much.
Egwin and Nynaeve aren't heroes, though?
Right. We don't know yet. You're right.
They
You're
are,
right.
but
And
within
I
the
hope
world, the way
they
they're
are.
represented,
And already, yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
the men are
There's a lot of story,
TAVERN. Totally. But I mean, getting there is part of. I mean, the feelings it leaves you with along the way are part of what reveal that, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I agree. There is a lot of story left, but
Yeah.
And and there's a lot of you can't. Yeah, you're right, Todd. I think it's well put. A lot of story left. A lot of opportunities for maybe
For
him
us
to redeem
first-time
himself
readers.
in your mind or make it worse, Josh. We'll see. I don't,
Yeah, and I totally want to jump into the gender roles more. We probably don't have time
Not tonight.
because and there's plenty of chapters where it's going to come up again. Yeah, trust
obviously,
me.
I mean, it's so built into our world. I mean,
this is great. Women can hold all the power in real life too. Spoilers for real life.
Oh, thank you.
Fart Vader's bringing it tonight.
You're bringing the heat, buddy. That heat. All right, so we do have. I added one thing to our drinking game. There is one final drink obligation.
Oh no!
Jesus,
It's
I'm so
it's whenever.
mad at you right now.
So whenever someone threatens to make them regret their parents meeting, their parents stealing kisses, the first time he pinched her butt, any of these things. So here it was, quote, if any of you had been silly enough to answer otherwise, I had something to add to your tally that would have made you cursing your mother forever, letting your father steal their first kiss.
Todd, you got to go?
Oh, no.
Oh, shit. I thought you were waving goodbye.
No, we're high five. We were high
I was
fiving.
trying
And
to
again-
high five.
You're going to forget the day your mother met your father at the roadhouse.
And again, Josh,
So
this
bad at the
Josh,
ankles.
this does reflect upon your gender thing as well. Men should not be stealing
this
kisses
way.
from women
Right?
and all this. But I mean,
Yeah.
All right. So to everyone, drink.
I love it. Amanda, thank you. I was about ready to message you and be like,
We are.
Yeah, where's Amanda? We like
but you're like, whew, now I know.
we waited for like 20 minutes and then she popped back on and we're like, all right, go.
If she doesn't call
We're
in
so
sick, too.
uncoordinated. Also, so sorry, Todrick.
No worries.
Todd, I love
Egwin and Elaine.
No worries.
Todrick.
Thank you,
Kate's a
Todrick.
great namer.
Todrick.
Todrick.
That's what Brother Dan calls me, actually.
I call you
I love
Todrick.
it.
And Ryan called you
I did pick it up from Brother
Totems.
Dan.
Totems.
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 But I like Todrick. I don't know why.
Todrick
Your
is beautiful.
Tarvalon
Well,
names.
it's
Yeah.
tis the given name.
Yeah, in this
Brother
age, your name is
Dan.
Totems.
Tis the given name.
Egwin
Make
and
Totems.
Elaine. Egwin and Elaine are being raised to accept it. This is notable. This is a quick raising, but Schwing recognizes that these girls have some powers, and she says, what'd she say? If I could, I'd put the oath rod in your
1,000
hands
years.
tonight. But as that is reserved for being raised, I said, I must trust your good sense. If you have any to keep you whole, as it is, you, Egwin, and you, Elaine, are to be raised to accept it. And she goes on to say, your abilities have gone too far for you to remain novices. They're badass. They're badass. They are like little chess wizards who are like, disobedient, but are awesome at
Don't
chess.
get too excited. You're going to be scrubbing pots for a week.
Yeah.
Ah.
You're gonna regret your mother fucked your dad.
Yep.
You really will. Don't
You're
make
gonna
me straighten
regret
that skirt.
the semen your father implanted into your mother and the sperm
Keep it G plus, dude. Come on.
Whoa!
sperm that
Went through the
penetrated the egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways.
Dude, that is some graphic.
It is so crowded.
Wait till I get started.
And then the
There's
egg
a circle
separates
light
into
up
2
here
and
that
then
just
4.
seems like a
Wait.
fallopian tube just waiting
Just
to
put-
happen.
Just put the map of Tarvalana up again, and we'll talk about this.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
go.
put my foam. I'm gonna put my foam into your Tarvalon.
There it is. Okay.
There's my Falma. Right there.
Oh yeah, look, the Falma's going right into the Tarvalon, y'all.
Wham!
Into the Tarvalon.
Wham!
All right.
Wham!
So funny.
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
Todrick
Dan, stop
shaking
it.
his
All right, so yeah.
Sorry.
Ever since you got the map, Dan.
It's just
Jesus,
approval.
Keep that thing in your pants, brother Dan.
this map is just like a
It's the best. It's the best. So yes, they were like they're yes and Falma. I have an itch on my Falma. I think it's a rash. Was that right, Ryan?
You have a taint. You have a Falma on your taint.
I got.
You gotta heal that.
I mean, a tainted.
I got a tainted
As
Falma.
one of the punishments.
It's like right under here, right around like
Dude, you need,
here area.
Right there.
dude, you need to put an Angriel on that shit. Dude.
Yeah, put a Sangreal on that shit.
I need a I need a topical Sangreal.
Sangreal cream.
Oh shit, that's where it's from.
Sangrealoid. It's a steroid.
Brian,
You need the Unreal
I'm so close to ending this broadcast right now.
Hold on, we gotta talk about more gays.
Oh yeah.
Okay, do it.
Oh yeah. Bukowski.
Go to more gays.
Too many
All right.
jokes.
More gays.
Morgaze has reacted poorly to the news that Elaine was no longer in the White Tower and ran away. She, it says here, quote, you may have ended a tradition that began before there was an Andor, a custom stronger than most laws. Morgaze refused to take Elida back with her for the first time ever. The Queen of Andor does not have an Aes Sedai advisor.
Ooh,
This is a big fucking deal.
Okay, so does anyone else think
What?
Elida is of the Black Aja?
Ooh.
Okay. Right on. Go on.
Well, let's.
And Morgaze found out about it, or she was like, "No way."
Well, there was all these in the book 2 or book 1, I forget which it was, but there was a bunch of black associated with her throughout the chapters. I actually talked to Ryan about that a while back, before the show. Like, that I think that she is. I think that at least we're being led to believe it's possible, according to the narrative.
Morgaze is like, "Forget that shit." Later.
I don't know if Morgaze even realizes, but maybe Elida needs to stay behind, because don't we learn that the Amerlin seat is fearful that there are still dark Black Aja within, and that's
Oh, yeah.
with warding the room, and like I think she even says that she doesn't know if they're all gone.
Yes. Yeah, she wards the room from people listening in. Yeah.
Oh, she's back.
There she is.
All right.
Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
Ryan, we share a brain, I think.
Interesting.
So funny.
Can you hear us, Kay?
KK.
Oh, you lose them again?
No.
What? We're all here.
Our headphones
Oh,
died.
yeah, she can't hear us. All right. We're pretty much done.
Yep.
It says here, she kicks Elaine out, and she pretty much wants to talk to Egwene and Nynaeve alone. Elaine splits, and she's she follows Leanne out with her head held high, and that's all you want. The next chapter is Schwing speaking with just Nynaeve and Egwene, and this chapter actually gets pretty good. This episode had amazing discussion for pretty shitty chapters. These chapters did not do much, and I think we all collectively had a pretty good conversation about them regardless. So well done.
We did.
Everyone.
It was an amazing show. What a great show, guys.
Good job, y'all.
All right. The car starts.
Guys, I got to tell you, I'm getting more and more and more proud and excited about each and every episode that we do. Our discussions are hitting next level, and I'm digging the fuck out of it. So thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, Kay Sadai.
Thank you, Kay.
I know you're there.
Thank you.
Back.
So, thank you. You guys are awesome. And Ryan and I are boring without you, so thank you for being.
Hardly, but you know what is awesome? Village Mattress.
Oh shit!
Throw plugs.
I'm gonna get on my little two-wheel thing and just segue.
Nice. Segue across.
I'm segueing circles.
I'm feeling sleepy, and I need to rest on something very comfortable.
Comfortable.
Look at these sheets,
baby.
Well, as always, you get 30 to 50% off any order you do if you mention that you know us, and you all know us. So the way the Leaf, let them know, and the last. Once again, Village Matcher stepped the fuck up during the Twatcastathon. He was matching every highest donor. He's one of the greatest members of our community, and why wouldn't you support him? And he's there to help all of us. So, yeah, give it a check.
Check it out.
And you can fuck a puppet on.